Hokage Hatake Glory, Chapter 341-360. Text Chapter 341 _ Death, to the Pit. We have to go to Kumogakure. Heihei168.com. The Hulula's propeller rose from slow to fast into the air. Liamong sat by the window and looked at the clouds outside. The little girl in her arms leaned against her chest, and the world seemed to be quiet. When this matter is completed, shall we go to the secret realm to hide? Brother, Hinata listens to you. Gently slapped the pink back twice and took a deep breath. Liamong slowly closed his eyes. Let the war gods die. The land of thunder Kumogakure. Seeing a familiar figure coming from afar, the villagers of Kumogakure boiled over. Hooray! Long live Lord Rakage. Long live the Killer Bee. Oh yeah. The great rapper, Killer Bee Jinchuriki, Column Force, the tough guy in the world, Master Killer Bee is back. Cheers guys. Hooray. Hooray. Oh yeah, that's the rhythm. Killer Bee, who raised the grass and mud horse with his right hand, rubbed his nose hard, and saw the three apprentices from the corner of his eyes. Aren't you welcome to come back for the master? Welcome to die. Yuhi's flat-chested Kurui waved his fists and roared. Samui with yellow hair, blue eyes and big breasts flips the Byakugan hard. Omoy, who is suspected of being a Taliban refugee in Afghanistan, wiped away tears. Master, why did you come back? We have even prepared a morning haul for you. We have spent the old nose money and borrowed money from Silver Bank. Interesting Academy's first release. Isn't your coming back all in vain? These things are taken out and sold, and no one wants them. Pit, you are really a pit, a big pit. Wind Country Sunagakure. Have you received the letter from Feimaru? Konkuro patted his shoulder and asked the ninja who was welcoming him. Received. How's the news from daimyo's side? Water Country Kurigakure. Just received a message from the daiming house. Terumi May waved her hand casually. Just say it here. Land of the Earth Iwagakure. The speed is so fast, and the result is so fast. The ninja who greeted the 2-day scale pushed his glasses, because it's about the tail beast and Madara. The daimyo made a decision so quickly. Che, that guy's name is really useful. The old man Tsuchikage stroked his beard with admiration and contempt. Let's go, let's talk about it later. Lord Tsuchikage, Lord Rakage will hold a general meeting of the Allied Ninja Army in 7 days, you see. That kid still can't change his impatience, but this time it's over. Onoki took a deep breath. Madara is not so easy to deal with. The old man has to work hard when he is old, which is really annoying. Tsuchikage-sama will leave everything to you. The Hulula's propeller landed from the sky into the land of thunder and lightning. Liamong hugged Hinata and got off the airship, followed by Enko on the left and Tamari on the right. Senju Tsunade, who appeared in the pressure field, shook off his hair. Master Kuchiki, Princess Tsunade, the guild hall has prepared everything. Azabuye opened his big talking eyes and parted his body. Originally, Lord Rakage wanted to greet him in person, but just now, Kyubi Ninetails Jinchuriki Column Force, there is news and I have to deal with it. Quote. The news from Naruto. Liamong paused for a while. What news did he send? Azabuye looked left and right. This matter is too important. Please ask the two of you to ask Lord Rakage in person. This is Akatsuki's information. In the 4th generation Rakage office, Yayui pushed the information across the table. Lu Meng took it over and looked at it with wide eyes. He handed it over to Tsunade and asked, where did it come from? Naruto said it was given by a female ninja named Konan, with her introduction on it. Miss Nan. Are Konan and Naruto connected? Back on what happened that day, Liamong felt his head grow again, and he and Omegakure had a deep feud. But now, how will the woman with the gloomy eyes choose? How powerful is fate? Challenged several times and caught in a critical situation several times, Liamong suddenly discovered that history seems to have the meaning of moving closer to the origin. What is Lord Rakage going to do? Tsunade read the information and pushed back the information, folded his hands together. Yuyai handed over the information to Ma Bui, turned her eyes back and said, "The specific method will have to wait 4 days before the meeting is over before making a decision. Princess Slug, are you here to represent an individual, or?" "I represent the country of snow and that kid." Yuyai squinted her eyes and looked back at Tsunade. "At a time like this, is the snow country also going to step in?" "Uncle I, one more person gives more strength. Although the snow country is small, it does not produce cowardly seeds. Drink, it's the first time I've heard that there will be men in that country." 2 pairs of eyes, one big and one small, were in the air, and Liamong Yui's eyes collided, one strong, the other calm, strong like fire, calm without waves. "Uncle I, Akatsuki is not only threatening the 5 major countries, but also the entire continent. Before coming here, His Majesty Kazuhana Koyuki has sent letters to the other small countries, including the Lord of the Bear Kingdom, the Lord of the Kingdom of Tien, and the Lord of the Kingdom of Sichuan. The Lord of the Kingdom of Grass has agreed to the participation of his Xian village, that is to say, Yin Yin, Taki Yin, Sao Yin, Xing Yin, and Jieshi will send the leader of the hidden village to attend the meeting." Quote. "Where's Shuiyin?" Yui stared at Liamong angrily. "Other small countries have hidden villages to participate. As the host, doesn't the country of Shuiji send ninjas to attend?" "I am enough in the land of snow." Liamong clasped his arms arrogantly, making Rakage half dead. 4 days passed in a flash, and the village of Kumogakure was densely populated by ninjas. Takian village didn't answer anyone he saw, and 3 slaps couldn't make a fart. The grass hidden village will talk to everyone, not like a ninja but a businessman. "Hey, hello, have you eaten today?" He stretched out his hand to hold the passers-by, and the ninja from Kusakan smiled and leaned forward. "Our village specialty costs you 3,000, do you want 2? 1 for 2, look how cheap it is, and it also comes with an antidote." Hey, don't go, 2 free time is expensive, we can discuss it, 2 can't be less. Hey, if you think it's too much, the 2 head office. Brother, I said don't run away. Thousands of poisoned copies can't be sold, and the old-haired grass is hiding and selling Grand Fireball. Walk through, pass by, don't miss, the famous ninja from the Uchiha family, what are you waiting for? Wanliang, as long as 10,000 yuan too. These idiots. Lord Rakage, please rest your anger, their village has always been like this. Damn, these mice in the ninja world dare to act like this, what did they think of the conference? The head of Yinyan village is here. The Chinese New Year is approaching, everyone wears more clothes, and it's not good to catch a cold. Hey, Tenten is happy, aim. Text chapter 342 _ the tears of the old friend's persistence at the scene. Yinyan village, the head of Yinyan village is here. Hearing the doorman's high-pitched registration sound, Liamong let go of the hand that held Hinata's waist. The young man in white clothes, white hair, green eyes, and crystal eyes, came from a distance with a handsome face, and the girls on both sides of the road who saw him were all stunned. Mine, he's mine, he must be mine. Kurui, don't be crazy, didn't you hear his identity? I don't care what his identity is or not, the big deal is to marry him. Do you know what you said? Samui hugged Karui's waist tightly. Yuhi got angry at the airport. Okay captain, you tried so hard to stop me, do you want to come by yourself? I tell you, there is no way, that man and old lady have taken his fancy. I haven't seen you for many years, I didn't expect it to be you. Liamong smiled and got up and greeted the person who came. The atmosphere in the venue was a little depressing, and the vicious-eyed leaders of the hidden villages felt threatened. This young Yin leader is not simple. He should be strong. Be wary in the future. Is there such a powerful ninja in Tianjiguo? Hello, my name is Kagaya Kimamaro, and I am attending this time on behalf of Yinyan village. Aren't you the head of your village? In a word, the leaders of the hidden villages sat up straight. Kimamaro sat indifferently facing the burning eyes, the leader of Union Village will always be one person. Baidu Interesting Academy. Okay, now that everyone is here, Uncle you should start too. Liamong Gag diverted the conversation, stopping the possible questions from the hidden villages. Yaoi Ai's old face was slightly sullen and stood up. Then, in the name of the fourth generation Reikage, it is announced that the first coalition meeting of the ninja world has officially begun. This meeting is mainly to solve Akatsuki. Do you have any suggestions to speak? I think. Fire Country Konoha. Yamanaka Ino's suggestion, the Shaokings got together at the village gate. Inazuka Kiba brought Akamaru on the top of the pile of wood, and raised his lips condescendingly. What is the matter to call the big guys together? There is no time to waste now. That's why it's like this. Ino looked up at Kiba and pulled Haruno Sakura from behind him to the front. Liamong, Sasuke, and Naruto left one after another. Kakashi, Sensei and Jiraiya-sama were killed one after another, and now there is nothing left. There aren't many left, and Sakura needs everyone's help. What help? Get them back. Hyuga Neji, who was unexpectedly present, leaned back against the big tree and tilted his head. Those three guys, one is more troublesome than the other. What do you want us to do? You can come if you don't want to. Ino snorted angrily. Hyuga Neji looked around, got up and left. Lerock Tenten saw it. Not following. Che, the stinky master of the big family, what's so crazy? Okay, Kiba, don't say a word that no one thinks you're dumb. Shikamaru raised his toes with a troubled face, turned his head to look at Haruno Sakura. Tell me, since it was proposed by Ino, what do you want to do? I want to get them back. Who to look for, Sasuke or Naruto? Shikamaru scratched his head and leaned to the side. Inazuka Kiba, Lee Rock, Tenten, Ino and a bunch of Shaoqiang all looked away. Haruno Sakura cried, her eyes dropped. I want to get them all back. It's impossible. Shikamaru spit out the weeds in his mouth and shook his head. If we could find it, we would have found it long ago. If the boss Liamong doesn't mention it, he will definitely not come back. I don't need to tell that guy's second assistant. As for Naruto. Speaking of the idiot in the eyes of the last big guy, the Shaoqiangs present were all silent. That guy is stupid, but when it comes to persistence, no one can compare to him. But because of this, it is more troublesome. Sakura, you have to understand that wanting that kid back is not something you can just talk about. I know. Haruno wiped his tears from crying Yuhi's eyes. I know that I broke his heart last time, so this time I will personally find him home. Home. Konoha is his home. Don't be stupid. Inazuka Kiba sat on the top of the pile of wood and patted Akamaru's head. In the past, you wanted to find Sasuke, and everyone helped you, but until now you haven't found it. Now you are looking for Naruto, that guy. More trouble than Sasuke. No, they are not the same. Sakura. Shikamaru called out his name solemnly. Want to know what those three people look like in our eyes? Let's talk about Mr. Liamong first. From the first contact, I knew that it was a trouble. He has no belonging in his heart, he only does things according to his preferences, and the family village is just a meaningless symbol to him. So he left. No one was dissuading him or thinking of calling him back. Besides Urzuzi, apart from you, most of us have no deep friendship with him, and he is not a particularly attractive guy. The reason why I agreed to your request before was because that guy is just like us. It's the ninja of Konoha Hidden Village, and it's our Konoha style to save him. Even if you lose your life, you won't regret it. Shikamaru. Listen to me. He raised his hand to stop Sakura's excited shouting, and Shikamaru continued. Sasuke's case failed, and Naruto chose to leave again. Seriously, comparing the two of them, we like it more. There is a little boy in the spectrum, although he is a little idiot, a little mentally handicapped, and often does some brain-dead things. But to be honest, without him, he really lost something. You agree? No, Shikamaru said, looking at Sakura seriously, I refuse. Why, didn't you say that you both like him? Why are you unwilling to help me, earlier? This moment, that moment. Shikamaru sighed with a serious look. Naruto is different from Sasuke. Nisukako is purely a mentally abnormal guy. He doesn't care what others think of him. Naruto, the difference is that although he looks carefree, he is actually a guy who is more easily injured than anyone else, and he is very concerned about what others think of him. Once such a person is deeply injured, there is no way to save him. Shikamaru said and walked towards the village, sighing as he walked, as much love as possible, hate as much as possible. Forgive me, I cannot agree to this matter. I can say sorry to him, I can. Sakura, it wasn't you who really hurt Naruto, it was Konoha. Shikamaru turned his head solemnly. You can't represent the village, that guy won't come back. No, it won't be like this. I'm going to find him, I must get him back. There will be updates in the future. Everyone eat well, play well, have fun, and everything will be good for 4 years. I love you forever, this situation will not change. Text Chapter-341-360 Who is behind that board? Shikamaru, don't we really help Sakura? Ino chased Shikamaru as he watched his friend who was crying and left. Interesting Academy. Ino, you have to understand that this is not a question of helping or not. Whenever there is a slight chance, I will not choose to stand by. Although I am afraid of trouble, I will not ignore my friends. Naruto is a friend I recognize. I also very much hope that he can come back. But this time, I am afraid he will not come back. Mount Myoboku, the floating Shirakumo swept across the river. Uzumaki Naruto, who was lying on the big leaf, stared straight at Shirakumo and stared blankly. He was in a daze outside, and a group of toads were stupid in the house. The big toad fairy with a black square-brimmed doctor's hat on his head sat on the treasure seat, dumbfounded like a big pumpkin. Swollen eyes, wide chin, white belly without pants. A small toad spread out his hands and said, Master, Jiraiya once said before that he asked me to be transferred into Naruto's body, but now. Thinking about the state of Uzumaki Naruto now, the toads in the room were speechless. Little kid didn't know whether he was depressed or helpless and stood in the middle. He was originally the key to control the seal of the 4 elephants. It's better to call Naruto in and ask about it. It just so happens that I have something to tell him. Sir, what did you dream about? The snow-white fossils rustled with dust, and the passing breeze told the sorrow of time. 2 figures, one up and one down, confronted each other for a long time. Long time no see, Afe. The figure standing above greeted him condescendingly, and then corrected himself as if thinking of something. I'm sorry, I should call you Uchiha, Madara, now. How could you find this place, Yakushi Kabuto? Interesting Academy. Madara's voice was cold, and there was an unstoppable murderous intent in his eyes. Kabuto, who showed a half-faced snake, smiled. As a spy, I have traveled between countries on the continent and stayed in Akatsuki for a long time. Don't underestimate the amount of information I have. You have to believe in professionalism. Do you believe in professionalism? Do you believe in your professional liar's professionalism? Madara's words became colder and colder. You, who used to be a spy under Sasori, dared to come back after betrayal. Then let me solve you here. Anyone who betrays Akatsuki must die. Kunai, Shuriken, Sharingan. A series of attacks shot in front of him, and Yakushi Kabuto, who was wearing a hooded yui-colored cloak, took 2 steps in a row and pressed his hands. Really impatient temperament, but unfortunately, I am no longer a trash fish at the mercy of others. Watch out. Spiritualism. Boom, 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 boom. 5 coffins in a row were thrown from left to right, and all the kunai shurikens were nailed to them. Uchiha Madara was stunned. Is this impure world reincarnation? Yakushi Kabuto smirked twice. Without the means to save my life, how could I come to see a dangerous person like you and say hello to your old subordinates? You were able to find them. Uchiha Madara squinted at the familiar figure in the coffin. Yakushi Kabuto pushed his glasses and smiled. I've been in contact with people anyway. It's not too much trouble for me to get something. What do you want to do? Uchiha Madara looked at the dead body that Yakushi Kabuto channeled from left to right, and gave up the plan to continue. Nagato, Kakuzu, Deidara, Sasori, Itachi, with these 5 guys teaming up, even he can't please. Yakushi Kabuto said coldly, I want to be with you. End work. What do you want? Uchiha Madara stared at Kabuto, there is never a free lunch. Yakushi Kabuto opened his arms and embraced the sky, I want to continue the journey that Orochimaru-sama has not finished, and search for the truth of the world. For this, I need a young and lively Uchiha tribe. You want Sasuke? Uchiha Madara's voice went cold. Yakushi Kabuto laughed, as expected of someone who survived from that era, he's smart. That's right, what I want is Sasuke Uchiha. What if I don't agree? Madara's voice was freezing. Yakushi Kabuto laughed, evil smile. Spiritism impure world reincarnation. Boom. Another coffin jumped out of the ground, and seeing the figure inside the coffin, Uchiha Madara froze. This is. Do you think I will come to you unprepared? You will never take my word, no matter if your name is Afe or Uchiha Madara. Good boy. Madara was irritated by Yakushi Kabuto's wild look. Where did you get that thing? Don't worry about that, but don't worry, it's still a secret at the moment. Ha 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 ha. What are you laughing at? Yakushi Kabuto stared at Madara with a cold face. I used to underestimate you. I really didn't expect a salted fish to turn over. Now entanglement with you will only drain the strength of both of us. You really know how to pick your time. So to speak. I agree, Uchiha Madara said, looking at Kabuto viciously, but Sasuke's business has to be put later, and I can't control that kid. You won't be able to control him. Don't underestimate that junior, if you give him time, he won't be able to surpass the sages. Uchiha Madara glanced at Yakushi Kabuto coldly, finally glanced at the coffin and turned away. Put it away, I don't want to see it again. Until you desecrate its soul. Also, even Kazusaku, I will watch you from now on. It doesn't matter. Yakushi Kabuto lifted the spiritism and jumped off the fossil, exclaiming to Madara, with admiration, as expected of Uchiha, he thinks so well about everything, but it's different. Put away your yin-yang tone, Uchiha can't be judged by someone like you. Pride of the family, you have that too. Yakushi Kabuto, the forward, Madara, paused and turned back slowly. Yuhi's 3 tomo turned into a circle. Don't think that if you seize my weakness, I won't turn against you. Next time, I would never choose to be patient. Quote. I went to update the book, The Rise of the Infinite Comprehensive Fat Man. Brothers and sisters, come and take a look at it when you have time, give your opinions and spread the flowers, and collect them by the way. The cloud will bless you. 4. I love you forever. Find your she or him, send him or her a flower, and harvest a pair of fat dolls next year. Text chapter 344_child fuck old man. Son of destiny, there are differences in your path forward. I foresee the future in my dream. You will encounter extremely difficult choices in the first game of the interesting academy. If there is a slight error, the world will go dark. It's all about god horses and god horses, right? Naruto raised his head with a forehead, and saw the big toad immortal being stupid. The old bastard Fukusuo looked at this 205, and jumped up with a kick. Listen carefully to what the eldest man has to say. Immortal big toad, child of destiny, yo, where did I just say? Deep work. Shima. Master, you just said. Oh, yes, destiny child, you need to go to an island off the beaten track with countless historical sites. There are huge Uzumaki, galloping wind, and many small animals are very lively. In my eyes, it is a rare paradise on earth, a unique holiday destination in the world. Quote. Immortal big toad, what are you talking about? Naruto's head raised 3 question marks when he heard it. Can you always make it clearer? Idiot. The Lord's prophecies were all seen in dreams, so what's the name? Shenzuo Shanren, how can I find it without a name? Son of Destiny, someone has already told Yumingzi there, she is a very enchanting woman. Very enchanting. Naruto scratched his head and thought for a long time, and suddenly his eyes brightened. Remember. Well, I know where to go. Fukasaku nodded his head while holding Toad Claw. Very good, since you know the place, hurry up. But before that, I have something to tell you. Toad. The whole body was black and there were twill lines on the face, and the toad with a scroll-like belly jumped into the middle. Interesting academy. This is the key your father left you. Although it is no longer used, I think it's better to explain it to you. My father left it for me. Naruto pointed to little Toad. That's right. Fukasaku glanced at Toad Ming with a sad expression. At that time, little Minato divided Kyuubi, Nine-Tails chakra into two, and sealed the positive side with the seal of 4 elephants in your body. I hope that one day you will use this power correctly. Toad is the key to control the seal. Father has already planned. Naruto glanced at the little Toad in surprise and disappointment, and Namikaze Minato's bright smile appeared in front of him. Sighed with a long sigh with his hands on his back. The plan can't always keep up with the changes, but then again, although you and Kyuubi, Nine-Tails, made an agreement, but if you don't forcibly break it with the key, the seal will always break one day. Will be completely broken into pieces. So, the best way now is to hand this key to you. Give it to me. Naruto looked at the scroll Toad dazedly. Shenzuo coughed twice. Since you don't object, then we can start. Toad. The scroll opened by Ziyu revealed a secret tadpole rune, and the Uzumaki pattern wrapped in a black hexagonal ring was very eye-catching. Press your hand here to sign the contract. Fukasaku jumped to the side and pointed to the blank. Naruto pressed his hand as instructed, but there was no response for a long time. Fukasaku's eyes straightened. Chakra, you idiot, don't you even understand how to release chakra? Ah, to release chakra. If you want to let it go, let it go. What are you talking about, you idiot? Don't be angry, I'll let it go, I'll let it go. Puff. Whirlpool, vortex, Naruto, human. Ah, immortal Fukasaku, I didn't mean to. A strong reincarnation of grains spurted out forcefully, and the Toad immortal, who had turned somersaults, went berserk. Looking at Fukasaku's increasingly dark face, Naruto waved his hand to accompany him. Listen to me, listen to my explanation. I'm here, I really didn't mean it. I don't care if you do it on purpose or not. Immortal Shenzuo copied out a ring ruler and slapped his palm twice. Stop for me. Stop. Can this stand? Boy, don't run. Immortal Shenzuo, if I don't run, I'll just go out for a walk. Naruto waved his hand and stepped back. Don't worry, I'll be back in a while, I'll be back in a while. Fuck you, blow the trumpet to call people. With a cloud-piercing arrow, thousands of troops meet. Uzumaki Naruto, who ran out of the gate, was dumbfounded. He saw that the outside of the main hall was full of toads, big and small, Yuhi's green, purple and black, blue and white, tall and short, full of toads. Gave him a mess. He aimed at it. Didn't I just fart? What about you? This is too unhuman. Boys, let Lao Su catch him. 10,000 toads lifted their feet, and Naruto Uzumaki became Sparta. Radar, all up. Out of anger, Fukasaku dragged Naruto back, holding hands in the blank space. Chakra surged, and the running water-like runes spread to the right arm. Very well, the first step is done, it's time to move on to the second step. What? There's a second step. In the first step, I was beaten to death by a fart. If I put another one in the second step, is there any way to survive? Immortal Shenzuo, can I have this key? Don't. Naruto graciously said, I don't really need it anyway, so I don't want it. It's up to you, you open your mouth to Lao Su. Open your mouth, what are you doing with your mouth open? Naruto looked at Fukasaku's malicious eyes. and suddenly had a bad premonition. Fukasaku smiled at him. Of course it's a ceremony to enter Tibet. Don't worry, if you want to get this key, there are 2 steps, one is to leave chakra on the scroll, and the other is. What are the 2? It's easy, you just swallow it. To swallow. Naruto glanced at the scroll toad on the ground, and he was good at gestures. Can this thing be swallowed? Can it be swallowed? Come on, open your mouth. I'm not open. With such a big toad stuffed into his stomach, he couldn't even run. Are you open? Hearing Naruto's unwillingness to open his mouth, Shenzuo's old face froze. Naruto shook his head into 2 big pieces. I won't open it, and I won't open it if I kill it. Fuck the kid. Come on, old man. Are you going to be a god horse? Let's work hard in the cloud, brothers and sisters, let's work together. It's been 4 years, hurry up and find a daughter-in-law. Text chapter 345_Hoshitaki Otokusuki proposes. I don't want to swallow toads. I don't want to swallow frogs. Why do you have to go in here? It's disgusting to death. Hey, do you really want to let me in? Toadming was half outside and half was fluttering inside. Open your mouth a little more. Big, this is already the biggest. Naruto Uzumaki raised his head and turned the Byakugan wildly. How could anyone tell a living person to swallow a toad? Fukasaku looked around to see where this was going. Fuck you. Come on, old man. When Shima heard the call of the child's father, she picked up her small apron and jumped into the air. Frantically flipped Byakugan, went silent. Old toad's big feet. How is the old man? Shima clapped her hands and kicked the toad into Naruto's belly with 1 foot. Fukasaku raised a big thumb at the bottom. The boy did a great job. Then it's up to the boy himself. We'll help everything we can. The Kingdom of Thunder, Kumogakure, the noisy talks have finally come to an end. In fact, there is nothing to talk about. It is said that the coalition forces are essentially each family managing their own affairs. The most important thing is to share information to prevent Akatsuki from exploiting loopholes. Of course, the coalition also has to look a bit coalition. Proposal of the 4th generation Raikage, the 3rd generation Raikage added, the 5th generation Mizukage, the 5th generation Kazekage and the 6th generation Hokage agreed, and the other small hidden villages watched the play, and decided to divide all the troops into the combat group, the reconnaissance group, the intelligence group, the support group and the 4th army, respectively. To the command of the other 4 shadows except Raikage. Gaara is young and strong, as the head of the combat team. The reconnaissance team is the most outstanding because of Konoha, and Might Guy serves as the leader. The analysis work of the intelligence team was handed over to Terumi Mei, and women are always more careful than men. Baidu Interesting Academy. The last support group was handed over to the reluctant grandfather of 2 days. Well, this name was called by Senju Tsunade first, who made this old guy feel uncomfortable for himself. The Chattering Slug Princess, it's amazing that you've survived until now. It seems like you're the only one left in the Sanin. You have to take it easy. 2 days old grandfather, you should take care of yourself first. By the way, is your back pain really cured? The old man's waist, of course the old man's waist. Gah. My waist. I thought it could be fully repaired by Rinne Tensai, Samsara of Heavenly Life, but as I got older, my bones became brittle. Seeing how he was sweating before he finished speaking for 2 days, Senju Tsunade spread his hands innocently. Look, everyone, I said he has to be careful. There are a lot of old people who are not lying at home. This is a problem. All right. Okay, now is not the time to quarrel. We should discuss how to hide Yahweh and Kyubi, 9 Tails. Gaara crossed his hands to stop the noise, and the little panda liked this action very much. Tsunade, Lu Meng suddenly interjected. Naruto and Killer Bee's combat effectiveness is obvious to all. Last time I was able to win by luck. Uzumaki Naruto contributed a lot. Hid the 2 of them, right? I thought so too. Anamu blinked, but this war is all because of the 2 of them. Just in case, they can't be allowed to fight easily. This is the consensus reached at the last meeting. Last meeting. And said, Senju Tsunade bang. The slap of the table, what we have to face is the old monster like Uchiha Madara. If we miss the opportunity because of the fighting ability, there will be no next time. For this, we should bet everything, not timid. Princess Slug, this is a war to protect the two of them, and you can't be on your own. Boy, you, Senju Tsunade got even more angry when he heard Gaara say this. I know him very well, Gaara said flatly. He will do anything for the sake of his comrades. That's the problem. That kid is too impulsive. As for the 8 tails. Don't mention my unremarkable brother, he is more troublesome than QB, 9 tails. When it comes to Killer Bee, the 4th generation of Reikage feels a pain in the head. Mifune looked at Tsunade and said, Princess Slug, you are not a member of the 5 kingdoms. Please maintain a certain degree of customization and respect the opinions of the 5 shadows. Bastard, are you looking down on this princess? Ha, we're not here for the play. Yes, we have a voice too. Senju Tsunade burst out, Shingen and Kusakayan jumped out immediately. Kimimaro, who had always kept his eyes closed, also opened his eyes. Since it is an alliance of the ninja world, it is not the business of the 5 major countries. We, the small countries, have selected Princess Slug as a representative. He is the granddaughter of Senju Hashirama and the only one of the Senju clan. In the battle against Uchiha Madara, we in the village of Otonan believe that it is necessary for you to listen to his opinions. Quote. Second by Taki in village. The 4 generations of Reikage looked at each other, and banged the table, you. Lord Reikage, we are not the Chinese cabbage on the street, let alone the decorations on the counter. The leader of Cao Yin laughed, but the words he said were piercing. Don't despise us, we take it out alone. What to do, but if you really want to join forces, it's no worse than either of you. Is this your confidence? Yin, Kusao, Taki, Xing, Shui, the 5 small countries against the 5 big countries. The 4th generation Reikage was provoked, but as the leader of the village of Gracian said, although the 5 small countries are not comparable to the 5 big countries, they are really not afraid of joining together. Who, at least, like today's Konoha and Kurigakure can't be, and Sunagakure village can't be good alone. The rest of Kumogakure will not work, only the crushed portion. But then again, it is enough to be able to compare to the other 3. It's not enough, and it's more than enough. This is Liamong's courage to contact other countries. Now that the cards are shuffled, let's just shuffle more cleanly. Mifune looked at the vaguely opposing parties and coughed twice. Since you are so insistent, Princess Slug will be the representative of the 6th party, but in exchange, you will lose your right to speak. It doesn't matter. Chief Cao Yin smiled and spread his hands. Anyway, no one will listen if we talk. These bastards. Lord Reikage, let's discuss the hidden matter of Yahweh Kyubi, 9 tails, where to hide it. Last time we owed Kyubi, 9 tails, a lot of favors. Onoki graciously said, the old man owes him his life, why don't you hide it in our Iwagakure? Hiding the power of the Jinchuriki column from Kumogakure village to Iwagakure, old man Tsuchikage, do you think this is reliable? Kid Reikage, what do you mean? I just can't trust you. Don't forget Deidara. The 4th generation Reikage bit Kiba and stared at Onoki. Deidara was raised as the 4th generation Tsuchikage, and even got nominated by Tsuchikage before defecting, which is why he fought Tsuchikage to death. 2 days, Onoki stopped talking. Then where are you hiding? Kyubi, 9 tails, Jinchuriki column forces in Mount Myoboku, which is very safe, but if you change it to Uchiha Madara, you can't tell. So I have to choose another place. I have already thought about the place, and I will contact the Frog General after the meeting. He recalled and set off with Killer Bee. Wait, Liamong interrupted suddenly, I need to say something about Killer Bee. Cloud will continue to work hard, strive for more today, everyone pay attention to keep warm and have fun. Text chapter 346_ if you can't run, fight happily. Idiot, bastard, don't try to catch me stupid. Interesting Academy. Killer Bee looked back at the crowd chasing after him, screamed and threw off his legs. Reikage who were chasing behind were going crazy. Bye, stop for me, can you hear me? There's no way to do it, Lord Reikage. The plan that was foolproof had already set an ambush location. Who would have thought that Killer Bee would mistakenly think that everyone was going to destroy him? What is he aiming at? Brother, I have always believed in you, and this time is the same. Killer Bee, who was running, clenched his fists. However, I won't believe those guys. They didn't even want to grab my door. Catch him. The shadows of the 5 big countries and the leaders of the hidden villages of the 5 small countries joined forces to let the target run away. Is this still reasonable? Be sure to catch him. Youth, give me strength. Onoki, what do you want to do? The 4th generation of Reikage's eyes narrowed, interrupting the old man Tsuchikage's barrier. Do you want to kill them together? Idiot. The old man is trying to trap him, Jinten particle style, as undead if it doesn't go through the 2nd stage. Onoki glared at Yuyai angrily, but he had lost the chance if he thought about it. Liamong looked at the crowd that had drawn into the line. Killer Bee is a ninja of both wind and thunder, and he is extremely outstanding in speed, not to mention that he is Killer Bee Jinchuriki column force. If you can catch up, and if you can't catch up, return. Youth, it's not allowed to back down. I'll go first. The old man won't participate in the peace with you, The 3rd generation Tsuchikage glanced at Yayui and turned back. Seeing the old man Tsuchikage leave, Taki and Kusakage, who didn't want to chase after him, stopped immediately, and Hoshiin, who had fallen behind early, disappeared. Kimimaro, 4 generations of Reikage, Might Guy, plus Gaara and Terumi Mei who are flying in the sand, Hulula chased behind Killer Bee. Hey, how did you provoke these guys? Consciousness Kairi Yao asked. I don't know either. Heihei168.com. Killer Bee looked back and wondered. Did they really want to kill you? I don't feel like it, but it's definitely not going to be good. Killer Bee touched his head, speeding up his run, pulling his 8 tails into a straight line. Liamong and the others who were chasing behind were all gasping for breath. You didn't say anything, and even called the tailed beast out to help. Immoral, so immoral, you are really called bare-ass riding a motorcycle, immoral smoke and turn around. Bye, you stop first. 4th Reikage put on his Thor armor and shouted loudly. If it wasn't for the fear of people running away, why would it be so troublesome as it is now? Killer Bee looked back after hearing the shouting behind him. Brother, I'm not an idiot, it's impossible to catch me. You idiot. 1 call and 2 calls. The chasing team hurriedly climbed the hillside from Kumogakure, ran from the hillside to the wasteland, and ran to the seaside in a blink of an eye. Seeing the water, Killer Bee is excited. Wait until my cat goes in to see how you guys can find it. Xiaoba, this time it's all up to you. I'm not an octopus, you idiot. I'm a fool, you're not an octopus, you're a cowfish with 8 claws. Compare. The 4th Reikage saw that Killer Bee was about to go into the sea, and couldn't do anything more in anger. Cage, throw me over there. I'm coming too, youth must be brave to challenge. The hand of sand that rose from the ground turned for 2 weeks, and the 4th generation of Reikage Might Guy played Fei Xian. Guy, who was thrown into the air, was excited. Ah. The blue sky, the sea, the psychic. Bang. The 4 short legs of the tortoise that appeared suddenly opened their mung-bean eyes wide, and the soul flew away when they looked down. Guy. Borrow your back. Whoosh. Are you going to go too? Gaara glanced at the shrunken tortoise that fell in the air, and looked at Liamong and Terumi Mei. Do you think I look like an idiot? Brother Cage, older sister doesn't do that kind of unladylike thing. What about you? Liamong Terumi Mei refused, and Gaara looked at Kimimaro again. 2 sounds, the crowd fell to the ground, and Might Guy and Yayui stopped by the beach. Bye, put down the big knife behind you. Knife, are you here for this knife? Killer Bee looked at the 4th generation Reikage suspiciously, touched the shark muscle with his backhand, and realized that something was wrong as soon as his hand grasped the hilt. Chakra, this guy is devouring chakra again. GGGGGG. Idiot, throw the knife away. Of the 8 tails that were exposed outside, only one remained in the blink of an eye, and the 4th Hokage kicked Killer Bee on the head. How did you find me? The gloomy voice sounded, and Killer Bee looked at the talking sword in astonishment. It can talk. Idiot, is that the enemy? Zazazazazaza. Dozens of spikes pierced through the bandage, and Kisame Hoshigaki exposed his head from the shark's wide-open mouth. Might Guy is not calm. Is this a god horse, a rare insect, and it also has horns? I'm not a bug, you rare beast. Kisame Hoshigaki bit Kiba viciously, and being said to be a bug made him angry. Guy listened with a suspicious look on his face. Isn't it a bug? Ah, I see, you are a puffer fish, right? Big puffer fish, I heard that it tastes good. Well done. I make you feel good. Sweetened water style, water shark bomb jutsu. The chakra shark rising from the waves opened its teeth and jumped into the air, and the 4th generation Hokage Might Guy waved their fists in unison. However, compared to the strength of the 4th generation Hokage Thunder Chakra, Guy was a bit unlucky, and he played a split with his feet against the shark's mouth. Taking this opportunity, the ghost shark who saw Liamong and others rushed to the sea stabbed himself into the sea. Don't let him run away. Don't worry, this guy can't run. The thunder-type chakra ignited all over his body, burst into the water, and the Kurigakure freak turned into a twist in the violent waves. Catch him. Kisame Hoshigaki, who had no way to enter the sky, smiled. Sweetened water style, water colliding wave. Kabuto's head fell like a fly swatter, and the edge of the beach was full of ridicule from the strange Kurigakure. Fighting sweetened water style, ninjas by the sea, you are killing yourself. Sweetened water style, 1000 food shark. Become food in the mouths of sharks and devour them. With the power of one person, the madness of Kisame Hoshigaki is beyond words. The overwhelming waves poured down, and the stray Gara Terumi floated in the air and widened her eyes. As soon as the expert makes a move, he will know if there is any, and the strength of the Kurigakure monster is simply extremely strong. Looking at Kisame Hoshigaki's arrogant aura, the big beauty's beautiful eyes were stained with blood. People who betrayed the village, I declare you to be executed in the name of Mizukage, the 5th generation of eyes. It's going to be night. What programs are brothers and sisters having? Have fun. Text chapter 347 _ a false past has no meaning of existence. The ambition of the ninja, there is death but not life. What does the name Mizukage mean to me? Standing on the top of the waves dozens of meters high, the strange Kurigakure known as the tailless beast tore off the forehead that symbolized missing nin. Interesting Academy first release. Terumi May's chest exploded with anger as she looked at the sign that was thrown at the beach. Kisame Hoshigaki, damn you. Hee, I didn't plan to live today. By so many cage-level masters and cut off by 4 generations of Hokage, the ghost shark is very aware of his situation. I'm afraid I'm going to die now. 5 generations of Kazekage, 5 generations of Mizukage, Liamong, Kimimaro, Might Guy, how can there be one to be provoked, not to mention that there is a Yaoi at the back. Are you going to capture it yourself, or do you want us to take you back? Haha, trying to catch me, it's not that easy. Ghost Shark glanced coldly at Liamong, who was talking, crooked his neck and narrowed his mung-bean eyes. The salty sea breeze brushed over the onion-shaped head in the rushing waves, and the weirdest Kurigakure smile appeared on his face. In a trance, it seems to have returned to the past. Listen to the ghosts, you have to protect the safety of those guys and ensure the transmission of information. However, the members of the Secret Service must not fall into the hands of the enemy. No matter what happens, you must keep the intelligence, and this is the task I give you. Do you know what to do if something goes wrong midway? How to do? Mr. Kaki, come and eat with us. The female ninja who was traveling with her saw the ghost shark sitting alone under the tree, and called out very enthusiastically. She is very beautiful and has the gentleness unique to the land of water. The hair is like water and the long eyelashes, but the more this is, the more uncomfortable the ghost shark is. Don't be so polite to me. Hey, leave him alone, they're all like that. A ninja called back to his companions. He's different from us members of the code department who use their heads. One works with brains, the other works with physical strength, and everyone doesn't speculate. Interesting school. But we are carrying out the same task. It has nothing to do with the division of labor. The female ninja looked at her companion suspiciously. Her pouting mouth was indescribably cute. The young Kurigakure eccentric was stunned for a moment, and his thoughts were interrupted by the sudden attack of the violent talisman. Enemy attack. The roaring fire splashed a large amount of scorched sand, and the Kurigakure eccentric held a knife in front of his companions. The attackers appeared, Konoha's ninjas, many times as many as they were. Surrender, you are surrounded. I know you. The young Kurigakure eccentric squinted at the talking leader, Konoha Anbu torture specialist. You did a good job this time. It's a pity. Ghost Shark, what are you doing? The blade that suddenly slashed towards his companion, slashed across his neck without any hesitation. The surrounding Konoha ninjas were stunned. What is he doing? He's actually killing his comrade. With a knife, he stabbed to death the last ninja of the village who wanted to run away, and the ghost shark silently dropped the blood drop. This is my exclusive mission. As a hostile country, you should understand that intelligence is sometimes more important than life. If they fall into your hands, they will soon confess and have to kill them all. Catch him. The rumbling waves were pounding against the reef all the time, and the siege suddenly began. The fist of the flamboyant Guy Rakage, the ubiquitous Suiten, water style Kaden, fire style, of Terumi Mei, and Kimimaro Gara are facing north and south to guard both sides, not giving the chance to escape at all. Kill him. The 5 small colorless crystals turned into powder, and Liuman's elbows, shoulders, and knees slammed into the ghost shark. Take my trick. Lucian rises to the dragon tyrant. Shameless to steal the ultimate move of Saint Seiya Shaoqiang, and hit the air from the sea. When the blue-white energy vortex hit his chest, Kisame Hoshigaki vomited blood and laughed wildly. What is he laughing at? No one knows, only that he is laughing all the time. There is a flaw, catch him. Take my final blow. Suiten, water style, shark bullet. Resisting Might Guy's iron fist, the ghost shark who coughed up blood and flew into the air suddenly clasped his hands together. 4 generations of Rakage came up, and 4 generations of Rakage went down again. All the chakra lifted by the swinging fist was absorbed by the shark water bomb. The shark-shaped water bomb, which was originally only a few meters in size, swelled up like a balloon in the blink of an eye. Don't use chakra, that thing absorbs. I know now, it's too late. Shark shells, launch. Kabuto's head slammed down like a giant water bomb that went straight down from Kabuto's head, and Gara, who was at the seaside, shot. Sand, countless sands, but faster than sand is a touch of gold. 100 Blossoms Ultimate Chi Mask. The golden enchantment, which is more than 10 times larger than the ordinary chanting mask, contained everyone. The big shark smashed down, and the roar filled the eardrums. It's now. Everything is paving the way for this moment, and the severely injured ghost shark plunged into the sea. A ninja, what can't be called a ninja? Creating possibilities out of the impossible, the Kurigakure eccentric who resisted dozens of heavy blows finally found a chance. Unfortunately, what greeted him was not heaven, but hell. Where do you want to run? Liamong, Kimimaro, 2 young people, one left and one right, crossed each other like death. The coastline was windy, and the squeaking robes were clinging to the body and pulled to the side. Several tidal crabs waving iron tongs climbed out of their hiding places and ran rampantly across the beach. The rumbling waves rolled up the colorful shells, and the 7.5 cage level lowered his eyes. Terumi Mei Liamong, Killer B Yaoi, Might Guy Gara. Kimimaro pulled out 2 bone spurs and nailed the legs and feet. This guy is tough to deal with. The half-dead ghost shark was dragged to the beach, and Liamong kicked the muscle of the shark that flew over. Keep an eye on your pet, come over and cook and eat it. GGG. You treat you like a rooster, return a chicken. Killer B slapped the big knife's head with a slap, and Yuhi's tongue licked out of the shark muscle, and his face was covered in seawater. Liuman turned his head to look at the 4th generation of Reikage. You are the leader of the coalition army, how should this guy deal with it? Call the people from the intelligence department to come over, and leave professional things to professional people. The cloud went to update the book, The Rise of the Infinite Comprehensive Fat Man. Work hard for a while to see if you can code another chapter. These 2 days are really tiring, but we will persevere. Brothers and sisters, come on, have fun, go to bed early at night. Text chapter 348 _ We are humans, not fish. Kisame Hoshigaki, who was maimed to death, knelt on the ground wearing a heavy shackle on his head, and Aoba, who was summoned from nearby, slapped his forehead with a single palm. Although a lot of information has been obtained from Conan, Madara's true identity is still unknown, and that guy has been hiding all the time. Who is he? The 4th generation of Reikage, the 5th generation of Kazekage, the 5th generation of Mizukage, the 3rd generation of Tsuchikage, and the 6th generation of Hokage, together with the head of the 5 villages of Shinyantaki Grass Snow, all surrounded the quartet. By so many cage-level powerhouses, Yamashiro Aoba explained nervously, if it goes well, you should be able to learn about Akatsuki's plans and information, as well as the true face of their leader. Although I have less interests than Mr. Inoichi, I will do my best to pay. Don't put too much pressure on yourself and start. Might Guy nodded encouragingly and turned his attention to Kisame Hoshigaki. A few wisps of light wind blew his hair and swayed slightly, and Shancheng Qingye suddenly exclaimed in surprise, I'm in. But it will be a little more troublesome next time. Spiritual body connection, past memory exploration, this guy. 427. This guy. It's hard work. Ghost Shark, this guy is fornicating with foreign enemies. From now on, you are the new owner of the big sword Shark Muscle and my subordinates. Until I get killed by you two, the 4th generation of Mizukage. Sukazan Pufferfish, who glanced slightly sideways on the ground, Kurigakure eccentricity put the Shark Muscle behind him. With a slanted gaze, the child with scars in the shadows revealed half of his face. Is he the 4th generation Mizukage? Ghost Shark, I trust a guy like you. For the peace of the village and the stability of the country, you have been doing unknown deeds in the dark. It is because of this that you understand the falsehood of the world better. Don't tell me such nonsense. The strange Kurigakure who tied the sword looked back at Kuruya. I already understood this kind of thing when I killed my comrades for the first time, but as a Kurigakure ninja, I have to attack my compatriots. What am I like this? An enemy or a friend? Where is my position? Where should I go, and where should I feel at ease? I can only feel that I am a false existence. Quote. Born unknown, dead unknown Matsuri, being a ninja is miserable enough. However, becoming an Anbu ninja is even more miserable within misery. Kurigakure finished speaking and finally glanced at the 4th generation of Mizukage. Just as he was about to leave, he found a dark shadow appeared behind him. Yamashiro Aoba is excited. You are confused, then let me free you from confusion and create a home for you. Starting from this country, you have been dealing with the confusion of your companions, then you will be my companion. Underscore. Who are you underscore. In the dark shadow, a pair of Yuhi's eyes lighted slightly. A long time. Kisame Hoshigaki looked at the 4th generation of Mizukage and sneered. It turned out to be like this. The 4th generation of Mizukage in my eyes is actually you. You used Sharingan to control the real 4th generation. This world is really a fake thing. You can control the 4th generation of Mizukage Kureya who is a 3-tailed Jinchukage, column power with your pupil power. Who are you? I am Uchiha Madara. A thunderbolt hit his forehead with a click, and Kisame Hoshigaki's Mung-bean eyes glared. Impossible, that person is already dead. Who are you? If you want me to work for you, take off your mask. To see. The fluttering heart is like a speeding car, and the mysterious man in the shadow slowly took off the mask. Yamashiro Aoba's eyes are wide open, wishing to stick his head in. Out, soon, immediately. Click. The abruptly stopped picture shattered just as it was about to reveal its true face, and the mountain city Chinye, who suddenly woke up, was stunned. Kisame Hoshigaki, whose mouth was full of blood Yuhi, laughed wildly and raised his head, and the cage-level powerhouse's onlookers turned pale. He bit his tongue, in order to restore his consciousness and keep the information. You're crazy. No one wants to get news from my mouth. That world is my best destination. When the true is false, the false is true, and the false is true, and the true is false. Where in the world can the truth come from? Where is the fake? The eyes of the moon, that is a pure world without deception, and the world that Kisame Hoshigaki yearns for in this life. Pity. I can't wait for that day. Crazy struggling to raise his head, under too much force, the whole neck, chest and abdomen sounded the whine of bones. But the ghosts don't care. All his potential to get back up to the sound of the shackles cracking, the Kurigakure eccentric opened his mouth and spat out the blisters that encased him. All the ninjas around were stunned. This is a water prison technique. Terumi Mei's jade palm ignited chakra and walked out of the crowd, and Lingli's light flashed in her beautiful big eyes. Leave it to me, this is a family affair in our Kurigakure village. Mizukage chick caught it alive. Old Tsuchikage shook his beard with his hands on his back. There won't be another chance like this. He can't get away with us. Don't worry, Grandpa Tianli, how can I say that I'm also Mizukage of the 5th generation? It's very important to catch him. It was very difficult to say 2 sentences, and the self-confidence of the big beauty was turned into filth in the blood-colored madness. Want to get information from my mouth? Next life. Kisame Hoshigaki floated in the center of the water cell and looked around, somehow remembering what his teammates said. Lakeside, wooden bridge, fire clouds on black background. I'm the one who will team up with you in the future. You are Uchiha Itachi from Konoha, right? I've heard about you. I heard that you washed your own clan. The original Kurigakure 7 people, one of them, Kisame Hoshigaki, is here. Please take care of me in the future. Quote. Not talking. Looking at the silent man sitting by the bridge, Kurigakure bowed his head against his shoulders and bowed his head. I know very well about you, so I chose you as my teammate. Killing my compatriots is an indescribable feeling, right? Uchiha Ferret. Quote. You talk too much nonsense. Itachi glanced back. You said you know about me, but what about your own? A poor bastard who got lost in the fog and can't even find his way back. Ha 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 ha. Hearing Uchiha Itachi's sarcastic words, Kisame Hoshigaki coldly forced down the sword. Let me tell you something interesting. Sharks are said to be ovoviviparous. It's just by letting the eggs hatch in the mother's belly, and some sharks have hatched as many babies as the original mother sharks produced. Not the same. Do you know why? The colder and colder the words are, the colder the air is, and the wind is blowing by the lake. Because of cannibalism, the larvae devour each other in the mother's womb from the moment they hatch, and as soon as they are born, they cannibalize each other. Except for themselves, everything is food, and everything can be eaten. From today, you and I are Akatsuki. My companion, you must be careful with me. Quote. To each other, to each other. Uchiha Itachi looked back and stood up and stared at the windmill Mangekyo. Ghost Shark looked at it for a while. Of course, we'd better get along peacefully, hoping not to become each other's final opponents. Itachi glanced at the Ghost Shark coldly. Those who attack your companions won't have good results in the end, you better have this consciousness. The Ghost Shark snorted angrily. According to you, we are all evil people. No, we are not fish, we are people. No matter who you are, you won't know what kind of person you really are until the last moment. Only when you die can you see yourself clearly. This is death, isn't it? Mizukage chick, get him out quickly, the old man has a bad premonition. Memories of the past were interrupted by Onoki's urging, and Kisame Hoshigaki, who bit his tongue, laughed and clapped his hands. Itachi, it seems that I'm not a very evil person. Psychic. The cloud has worked hard, and it does what it says. Although it was a little late, it still came out. It's really annoying as the Chinese New Year is approaching, drinking and dancing at night. Old Mrs. Jaley went to his house, and was completely speechless. Text chapter 349 _ the wound that will never heal. What is he going to do? This lunatic. An exclamation point resounded above his head, and the green-skinned and white-bellied big shark summoned from the water prison technique madly bit into the laughing Kurigakure weirdo, and even his head and slippers nibbled cleanly. Baidu Interesting Academy. Kisame Hoshigaki died. He died extremely proudly and tragically. To the death, this guy did not forget to laugh at the enemy who caught him. The ninjas surrounding him were all shocked, and even Lu Meng was shocked. Although I knew for a long time that this might be the case, I only understood what real shock was when I actually saw it. Tsuchikage's old man Yuhi's Lee's nose was dripping with oil and sweat, and he said, he actually used the shark he summoned to eat himself. The lunatic from Kurigakure really isn't normal. What do you mean? Terumi May turned her eyes when she heard the sound. Mizukage girl, don't you understand what I mean? Onoki tilted his old face provocatively, and his two sharp eyes met fiercely. Second-generation Tsuchikage and the second-generation Mizukage have a blood feud, which is a feud that will never be resolved. Ching, who also survived from that era, lowered his eyes, sighed in disappointment and shook his head. I didn't expect dried persimmons to die like this in the end. Is he really dead? Gaara asked the crowd uncertainly. This guy has played the trick of coming back from the dead several times, and he has to guard against it. It should be really dead. Killer Bee patted Gigi's weeping knife. It's sad, crying like a child, that guy really went. Knowingly escaping and ending his own life brazenly, this guy must have his own perseverance. It seems that Akatsuki also has things or companions that he values. This is really bullshit. Baidu Interesting Academy. The old face twitched for 2 days. Swallowing his beard, Akatsuki's people also have friends. It's a normal thing. There's nothing good or bad in the world, it's just people's subjective judgment. Case Cage Kid, don't talk about yourself like a saint. 2 days of Scales snorted unhappily. Even if the world is not really good or bad, we have our own position. What hurts us is bad, and vice versa is good. However, the guy is truly amazing. Quote. He chose to commit suicide in order to preserve information. He is a worthy opponent. Might Guy took 2 steps forward and stared at the pool of blood on the ground. He is like a real ninja before and after life. As colleagues, we should keep this name in mind. Let's gather the body for him. Even if you can't find anything, it's better to make an empty grave. Wait a minute. Yamashiro Aoba suddenly realized something was wrong. What do you think that is? The ground was full of filth, and the blood-soaked scroll was slightly exposed, and the leaders of the hidden villages all frowned upon hearing the sound. The nearest Might Guy leaned over, picked it up and wiped it. The scroll with black borders and moire and white surface was no more than the size of a palm. What will be in there? Fool. Idiot. How can the enemy's things move around? The scroll that was opened without any rush to stop it suddenly appeared more than 10 blisters and wrapped everyone in, and the big shark hidden in the blisters opened its mouth and bit. People in crisis are not calm. Guy, you idiot. The 6th generation of Hokage is too unreliable. Is it really possible to make an alliance with such a guy? Shikatsumyaku, Dead Bone Pulse. Broken Fist. Weighted Rock. Various secret techniques and ninjutsu appeared, and the heavy water prison technique did not cause too much trouble for everyone. Spit out the first time he broke free. You don't forget the hand of the yin even after death. You are so good at Kurigakure. Is everyone alright? Gaara looked left and right, and everyone who came out of the water shook their heads and shrugged their shoulders. Kisame Hoshigaki's trick is a bad one, but it doesn't make much sense for cage-level powerhouses. But it's really disgusting, like a child who can't open his mouth and spit in a fight. I'm going to take care of his body myself. Ao stopped Kumogakure with a serious expression, and took the shovel to dig the blood-stained yuhi mud on the ground. Terumi closed his eyes and sighed, take it back to Kurigakure for burial, that's his home. It would be too sad if a ninja died without a place to return. Mizuka's chick, he's the enemy. I know. Terumi turned her head and stared at Onoki, but he is also a miserable man. When it comes to hatred with Akatsuki, who can compare to our Kurigakure? The 4 generations of Mizuka were secretly controlled by Sharingan, and countless ancestors died in misfortune. They finally got out of control, and the 6 tails and 3 tails were taken away one after another. That was bad enough, but Akatsuki still didn't let Kurigakure go. Heavenly Path Pain is right with Shinra Tensei, almighty pushing the hatred between the 2 sides into the abyss. Tsuchikage, who knew about these things, snorted and kept his mouth shut. Ching, seal things up. The soil wrapped in cloth was sealed in the scroll and hidden in his arms, and Ching, who survived the blood mist, sighed faintly, and there was an indescribable loneliness and desolation in his complicated eyes. Chenjiro stared blankly at the ground, and subconsciously touched the flat-eye butterfly, with the name of the tailless beast. The most special existence among the 7 knives was just gone. Is this the fate of ninjas? Killing and being killed, when will there be an end? The Kingdom of Rivers, the ruins of Omegakure, an angel descended from the sky blocking the ruined gate. The rushing waves crashed against the icy shore, and Uchiha Madara, who stepped out of the shadows, stopped. I know you will come to me sooner or later, but I didn't expect you to chase here. Do you want to do something to your companions? Give Nagato back to me. Conan looked at Madara, with a somber look, and his voice was calm without any waves. But is it really like this? Uchiha Madara was silent for a moment. Sharingan turned around twice. Before I start, I want to ask a question. Why did you betray me? Betraying you. Conan opened his arms to face the never-ending rain. You have been betraying us. Hanzo of the Salamander was the first, and you, the second. Nagato, Miyoshi, Yan is wrong, and we shouldn't choose to make peace with others. For this reason, Mian is dead, and Nagato is dead, and I will correct this mistake. You want to kill me? Uchiha Madara sneered in Yuhi's pupils. Conan didn't smile. She was still calm without any expression, only the wound in her eyes that could never be healed. Omegakure Village, the wind is blowing. The cloud is working hard today. Everyone should be happy. The first update. During the first weekend, brothers and sisters didn't go out to pick up girls. Well, it doesn't seem right to describe it like that. But that's what it means. The marriage that should be married, the love that should be in love, and the cucumber dishes will be cold after waiting. Aim. Text chapter 350_death is never the end. Here, let's eat. It's easier to read on mobile phones. m.heihei168.com. The vague memory gradually became clear in the rain. It was the first time I met Nagato. He was so stupid back then. When he took the bread, it was like a small airbag, but he had to give half of it to the dog in his arms. And then took him home by himself. Conan, who is he? Mian asked in a dissatisfied tone, looking back at the child Conan brought back. I think he's starving to death. Wong. And dogs. Did you make a mistake, even picking up the dog? Mian glanced at the ground speechlessly, then looked up at Nagato. What's his name? Call, little one. Little guy. What a strange name. Who named it for you? Mian looked at Nagato strangely. Is there anyone else with this name? Nagato waved his hands repeatedly and said, It's not me. I don't call Xiaobudian. Xiaobudian is this dog. Then you. My name is Nagato, Uzumaki Nagato. Okay, Uzumaki Nagato. My name is Mian. Her name is Conan. You are welcome to join our family. Come on, shake hands. We will be friends from now on, and get ready for dinner after eating. Prepare dinner. Of course, what else do we eat? But it's up to the two of you. You do this way, I'll do this again. Please, please, please give us a little bit. Please, just a little bit. Go away, I don't have anything extra to give to you. You little beggars are so annoying. Please, just a little. Hurry up. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. Conan, Nagato, retreat. Bastards, you thieves, put down Lao Su's fish. Uncle, it's just a fish, don't chase it so fiercely, be careful that the rest will also be stolen. Wait for me, you thieves, don't let me see you again. Nagato, do you have a dream? Dream? How can I have no dreams as a man? I have a big dream. I don't want to live like this all my life, I want to conquer the whole world. Hey, what are your expressions? Conan doesn't matter, what are you doing to Nagato? Men, you have to have the ambition of a man. Conquer the world. Yeah, if we can stand on the top of the world, we won't have to suffer from this crime again. We can't keep stealing like this, or our parents won't rest. Can conquering the world end the war? Nagato asked hopefully. Of course, it's like a god. Mien said very confidently. They were like two fools, and then the little one died. Konoha and a Megakure got into a fight, and a kunai with a detonating talisman dropped at his feet, and the little guy picked it up and ran away. That was the first and last dog we adopted. Nagato cried for a long time, and Mien swore to Shoutian's body that he would become the god of this world, thus ending this troubled world. For this hope, we bowed to the master, and then the master left. That lecherous man left us the power to realize our dreams. Now, I will use this power to end our dreams. Because everyone with this dream is already dead. Uchiha Madara. I saw Juju in your eyes. Since you have already made up your mind to die, why do you still wear this robe? Akatsuki is an organization founded by Mien, and the Yuhi cloud on this robe symbolizes the war that rained blood on a Megakure. Although Akatsuki fell into your hands, this robe represents our dreams, not yours also. Rinnegan is the eye opened by the ninja Nagato of a Megakure village. It also does not belong to you, it belongs to this country, it belongs to the treasure of this village. Quote. I think you may be mistaken. Uchiha Madara explained while dodging the hexagonal plum blossom paper shuriken. You won't live long anyway. It's nothing to tell you. Behind the back push me in to create Akatsuki. It was me, and it was I who gave Nagato Rinnegan. Akatsuki was never yours. He always belonged to me, my Uchiha Madara. Quote. In my eyes, you're just a little girl who doesn't know anything, just like your ridiculous dream. Shut your damned mouth, you conspirator. Conan suppressed the deep shock in his heart, his melancholy eyes overflowing with unstoppable sadness. Is everything this man's calculation? Do not. At least Mien and Nagato's hopes are not, nor are our dreams. Yo, the little girl is angry. Uchiha Madara smiled and turned his body into nothingness, letting the snow-like pieces of paper pass by. Are you trying to win by numbers? It seems that you have done a good job of preparation. It is very difficult to think that it is very difficult to seize the materialized gap and launch an attack. Simple. Sadly, it's useless. Whether it's useful, you'll know right away. Go to another world with me. These are the detonators. Nagato, Mien, I'm here to find you. Blast me. Rumbling snowball-like flames blasted through the watery rain curtain, and Conan suddenly found himself back in the past. Is it memory? It turns out that people remember the past before they die. Conan, take care of Nagato, he is the heart of this organization, the man who has the power to change this country and the world. Going forward, you have to put all your thoughts on him. Mien. I know what you're going to say, but I'm different from him. People gathered around me because they believed in me. But to really realize the dream, he had to. Nagato is the bridge to peace, and my mission is to be the bridge Jinchuriki column that supports this bridge. This country is still crying as always, the pain is spreading all the time. I used to hate this country so much, but now, I want to save it. Quote. Actually, I'm very similar to him. we both cry the same way, so I can't leave him alone. Mian, have you become a Jinchuriki column? Nagato, have you become a bridge? Without the Jinchuriki column, the bridge will collapse, and without the bridge, the Jinchuriki column has no meaning. A bridge can't have just one Jinchuriki column, let me be another. May we meet again in another world and build this bridge of hope to peace successfully. Die. By no means the end. This chapter has been revised several times, and I am finally satisfied. It's hard to express one's heart. Hope you all enjoy watching it. Take a look. Text Chapter 351 The Elegy of the Angel of Akatsuki. A roar like an angel lit up in the ruins of a megacure village. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. The hula law's paper made up a small half of his body, showing most of his face. Conan, who wanted to be buried in search of his best friend, stared at Madara, who had lost his entire right arm. It's my fault for underestimating you. After all, you are also the elder of Akatsuki. Uchiha Madara covered her broken arm mockingly. Sharingan Fishy Yuhi under the mask that shattered a small half. Do you want to self-destruct and get rid of me the moment I inhale it? Your plan was good, but it failed. All the explosions were sucked away by me, and I was one step ahead of you, only slightly injured, and even saved you. So, should you thank me? Madara, I have a question. Conan's voice was still calm, as cold as a still lake. Uchiha Madara grabbed his broken arm and got up. Innocent little girl, what do you want to ask? Have you ever had friends and dreams? Friend. Dream. Conan stared blankly at Madara, and a smile suddenly appeared at the corners of his mouth, a smile comparable to that of a rainbow. What are you laughing at? I am laughing at the most ridiculous person in the world. From your expression, I can feel that you are sadder than us. We have friends and dreams. Even if we fail, we have been persistent, happy, and hardworking. And you will never understand this. Quote. You finished. Uchiha Madara, the Sharingan exposed outside was unusually cold. Conan is still laughing. Even more beautiful than flowers, have you finally started to kill? Madara, in fact, I never thought it would be so easy to get rid of you, so I prepared a second hand. Funeral here. In this ever-crying country, in this ever-mourning village, for us, for those innocents, for all those whom you have deceived and played with. Uchiha Madara, you must die. The ocean that slammed into the two sides was divided into two sides by countless pieces of paper, and it seemed to be straight to the sky. Interesting academy. Madara, who looked left and right, narrowed her one eye and moved from the village to the sea. She didn't expect to step into such a trap. Catch him for me. The detonating charm sticking to the body bang 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 continuously exploded. Conan stared at the bursting firelight and fixed his bright eyes. The time and space transfer failed. Don't you think I stayed by your side for so long? When you inhale your body, you must materialize, which is slower than inhaling other things. Madara, you are dead. The detonating talisman that exploded continuously without stopping. Uchiha Madara jumped back and forth in embarrassment, and at the same time, he was also glad that the choice just now was to let the explosion pass through, otherwise it would be really dangerous. Surrounded by such a large number of detonating talismans, the time and space transfer is almost equivalent to abolition. It is unexpected that this naive little girl will grow to such a degree. Madara, opportunities are always reserved for those who are prepared. You can only last for 5 minutes at a time. For this reason, I specially prepared 600 billion detonators, enough to explode continuously for 10 minutes. Go to hell, you fellow living in intrigue and betrayal. Conan complained loudly with anger. You said that you encouraged Mian to create Akatsuki, and you said that you gave Nagato Rinnegan. I don't know if this is true. Even if it is, Mian Nagato is based on actions of their own will. They are not puppets in your hands, and they are not playthings in your hands. No matter what the situation is, they fought for their dreams to the last moment. Because of this, we can understand and support each other. Quote. I, the White Tiger of Akatsuki, the angel Conan, will never let you desecrate this lofty ideal and hope, and let me die in this boundless explosion. 600 billion. A full 600 billion. The explosion of a full 600 billion detonators. From the beginning of the day, it has brought a different shock to this weeping country. The waves are roaring, the rain curtain is screaming, and the messy raindrops are mixed with the salty seawater. Between the sky and the earth, between the wind and the rain, compose a dirge called funeral. Uchiha Madara, your fate is death. Shinra Tensei, almighty push, is right. A louder muffled sound suddenly sounded from the depths of the constantly roaring paper sea, and countless pieces of detonating talisman paper were rolled upside down and turned to both sides. The rumbling sound of the explosion came to an abrupt end, and the boundless seawater poured down. Looking at the slowly emerging shadow, Conan was stunned. Madara, you desecrated Nagato's eyes. Innocent little girl, I remember I said earlier that this was originally mine. Now, it's just taking it back. Since you want to see them so much, I'll give you a ride. The iron rods that Pukai pierced from behind were familiar, and Conan slowly lowered his head, feeling the tingling in his heart. Stupid betrayer, you actually listened to the mad words of a little devil and went to find some peace. There has never been peace in this world, let alone hope. Nagato did that because he was aware of this, and he should have responded before he died. What did you say? Stop clinging to your dreams, we hope you can live a good life more than those. Nagato, have you really given up? Listening to Madara's malicious reminder, Conan couldn't help thinking of the promise left by his best friend before he died. Will not. That is our hope, how can we give up when we say we give up? Will not. Certainly not. Jinchuriki column that supports this bridge. Mian is the bridge to peace, and it is his will that influences us. The words the two friends had said echoed in their ears, and Conan raised his eyes with lowered eyes. A beam of skylight fell diagonally, and Uchiha Madara was stunned. Mian, Nagato, are you here to pick me up? Conan raised his smiling face happily, looking at the rainbow with a smile. The sun will also fall in the Omegakure village, which has never stopped raining. Madara, have you seen it? Our will is like the morning sun after this rain, even if it is blocked by the rain curtain, it will not die. Even if it is death, it will keep it going. Uzumaki Naruto, or anyone else, peace and hope will always remain in people's hearts. And those of us who died, will be the bridge's Jinchuriki column, supporting this dream to continue until it finally succeeds that day. Quote. Nagato, forgive me, I can't keep my promise with you. For our hope. I have our dreams. For our perseverance. It doesn't matter if my flower withers here, I must end the bastards who play with us, betray us, and hurt us. Come with me in the funeral, Madara. Let's start here and end here. Innocent little girl, I thought you made progress, but I didn't expect you to be so innocent. Naive. The iron rod that was pulled away from his chest dropped drops of fresh yuhi, and Conan fell down slowly. Life is as splendid as summer flowers, and death is as quiet and beautiful as autumn leaves. Madara, I'll be waiting for you below. Mian, Nagato, here I come. Brothers and sisters, ask for support, union feels good, everyone is having fun and watching, keep working hard. Text chapter 352_ a flap for memories. Friend. Dream. Sitting on the lonely broken wall, looking at the woman who passed by with his arms crossed, Uchiha Madara's eyes are complicated and incomprehensible. Heihei168.com. The sparse rain fell in a continuous line, and the clear sky was covered by the rain screen again as Conan passed away, and the raindrops that fell from the sky seemed to be 3 points colder than before. Raising his hand and slowly taking off his mask, Uchiha Obito silently burst into tears as he silently stared at his familiar and unfamiliar self amid the waves. I have tears too. Is this your mockery of me? Turning to look at Conan's dead smile on his lips, Madara put on the mask again and hugged the body in his arms. The white cemetery, like a wedding hall, is covered with a sea of paper flowers. This is a holy flower that never dies and a smile that never changes. Lonely Mian lay in the middle of the sea of flowers with her hands folded on her chest. Uchiha Madara watched silently for a moment, put Conan on the right, and then put Nagato on the left after thinking about it. Since this is where you choose to go, it will keep you here forever. Ridiculous and innocent dream, even the iconic Yuhi hair of the Uzumaki clan has turned pale. What are you still holding on to? Your so-called attachments are just like the strands of hair, so pale and powerless. Dream. Hope. Friend. What do these mean to me? Farewell, naive children, even though you are grown up, you are still children. Conan is on the right, Mian is in the middle, and Nagato is on the left. What's this? Looking at the lecherous uncle in a frog suit, the three curious babies raise their heads. It's called a frog board. Frog board. Uncle Pervert nodded. It's Yuhi colored on the front and white on the back, so you can turn it over like this. Snapped. Turn it over to the Yuhi side when you're squatting, and flip it to the white side when you're out. By the way, this frog smiley face means coming back right away. What are you doing? The young Mian asked with a small mouth and looked at the flamboyant uncle. Even if you are a totem mortal, you don't need to do everything like a frog control, right? Look at our family has become what's it like. Frog suits, frog hats, frog pillows to learn how to jump. Can you not make these disgusting things? Idiot, there is a reason for doing this. Uncle Lecher raised a finger angrily. The area we are in is not safe now, and we may be targeted at some time. Once exposed, it is likely to be attacked. Sneak attack. So, if someone is absent and the board is Yuhi colored, they have been kidnapped. Conversely, if someone is present and the board is white, the enemy may have turned into a fake. With these boards, weakened abnormalities were discovered at the first time. Quote. Aha, Conan is just smart, not like Mian. Actually, I know it well. Mian raised her arms quizzically, and Yuhi's impetuous face caused laughter from her companions. The uncle of the lecher laughed twice, and clapped the board seriously. Anyway, this is a secret code that only the four of us know. We must always pay attention to and confirm each other's existence. That is to say, even if we are standing on the spot, we can't take it lightly. In addition, just in case, I dug up the secret room and passage here, and if something happens, you escape from here. Also, the board on the opposite side of the wall is mine. Quote. Why don't you put the boards together? Mian looked around, feeling the distance. Uncle of the pervert snorted. Master, what does it look like to stay together? Let's go, it's time to train and not care. To cultivate the endurance like a frog, you can be indifferent to anything. Okay, let's go. Look at you, you just said you have to be patient, and then you get excited like this again. It's alright, Master, we're happy, and you will grow old. Mian, you're still so unlovable. Snapped. 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 Ellipsis. Conan. Nagato. Jiraiya. Mian, do you really understand the meaning of this board? After waiting, and waiting, Conan looked at Mian in confusion. Mian, who finally woke up, was excited. Of course I know, I just didn't remember it. I will become very strong and change the country. Idiot, go and turn the frog board over before you change the country. Flip, flip, flip. Snapped. My teacher is leaving. Master Jiraiya. I am different from you after all. I firmly believe in my dream, and it is time to go back as a teacher. The distant figure left a lonely flap, and the child standing in the rain suddenly understood why the frog board was so far away. Grow, fight, until the same chooses to leave. We are going to say goodbye to here today. We are here to change and grow, and everything starts here. Now, we set out for our dreams, and in the future. Snapped. Conan, you're always so fast. You are too slow. Do you want me to attack? Ellipsis 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 ellipsis. The detonating talisman shot suddenly bang. Boom. The explosion sounded, and the attacker charged in with kunai in hand. What about people? Where have people gone? I didn't expect this secret room to come in handy in the end. Mian sighed out of the tree hole. It's an embarrassing way to leave, but it's also like the feeling of this country. Nagato, Conan, let's go bar. Finally, I glanced at the hut full of memories, and the grown-up child embarked on the journey. We set out from here for our dreams. In the future, if our dreams come true, even if everyone is scattered, one day, we will definitely come back here. Then the three of us will celebrate together. Don't forget to call Jiraiya then. Conan turned his head with a smile, and the paper flowers on his temples seemed to be laughing too. That's it. Mian slammed her fist hard. There will be no less Toad. You say yes, Nagato. Well, definitely. Surely. Snapped. As the last flip turns dark Yuhi. Uchiha Madara, headband that came out of the secret room with 6 paths Samsara 3 Tomo black and white mask, holding the Uchiha family symbol Sharingan fan, 2 black belts floated high behind him. All the troubles settled, the war is next. Brothers and sisters, how do you see it? What are the shortcomings? Give advice. Newcomers and new books. Union hopes to become better with everyone. Text chapter 353 departing to Dewangba Turtle Island. Ah, it's so boring, it's getting hairy. Lu Meng stretched his waist and looked out the window. The little secretary smiled and handed the teacup. Brother, if you're bored, you can go out for a walk. Still shopping? Liamong shivered and shook his head. He didn't do anything else for the past few days, just went shopping. How about we go play with Killer Bee? Stinky boy, do you want to act with Killer Bee Jinchuriki column force? Anko pushed the door open while holding to Kushimaru. I heard that this is a secret. No one except Reikage knows the exact location. They don't know I know. That place is very nice. Let's go, let's discuss it with Uncle I. Liamong wanted to play with Killer Bee, and the 4th generation Reikage responded after a moment of hesitation. Senju Tsunade got the news. That pretty face with black face is about to become a dead end. Damn, 277, bastard, tell me, are you the representative of the Snow Country or am I the representative of the Snow Country? You are. Me. I want a share, 50%. Tsunade gestured for 5, and stars appeared in his brown gold pupils. This princess has done so many things for you, so half is not much. My good sister, half is not more than that. Liamong coughed twice, his eyes bubbling with air. It's only that little money in total. You need half of it when you say it. You are too dark. I'm black, am I black? Senju Tsunade folded his chest pretending to be serious. Shizune, Karen, is this princess black? Master Tsunade is not black at all. Master is old. Look. Senju Tsunade shrugged. They all say I'm not black. Interesting academy debuts. My good sister, you are you. What's wrong with me? You're fine. Liamong wiped his nose silently. He couldn't hide from me if he couldn't offend me. 50%. Tsunade grabbed the Liuman who wanted to escape, and gestured for 5, give me 50%, or you won't even want to go anywhere. At most 20%. Liamong reluctantly compares to 2, at most 20% for you, 20% is already a lot. 40%. Tsunade have, her beautiful big eyes widened, if you lose 40%, don't do it. 25. Liamong stretched out 3 fingers and bent halfway down. Shizune, Karen, Anko, Tamari were all speechless. Can they change the game? Every time I'm arguing about it. Oh my god, did the master and the big bad guy lose their money? Pulling his fingers and arguing with each other for a long time, Liamong finally spit out helplessly and agreed to share 3. Tsunade is very happy to get a share. It's over if it's like this. You kid is really ink. My ink. Lu Meng made a gesture of vomiting blood and turned around and left. Hu-kun, you're so out of position. Anko glanced back at Senju Tsunade, who was almost blurry, and pouted his lips angrily. Liamong laughed. His stomach was about to explode. If she wants it, give it to her. Now let's not say 3. It's 8. What's the point of giving it to her? Hu-kun, Don't you have a fever? Tamari reached out and touched Liamong's forehead, blinking his eyes in confusion. Liamong shriveled. I can't be generous in your eyes. Are you generous? Anko raised his voice suddenly. If you want to be generous, there will be no deductions in the world. Last time, you gave Inuzuka Kiba little dog food. You clearly said that you had to lose half a caddy, and you even asked the boss for a rebate. Last time, you gave Shino some bugs. They want to sell you a little more. You don't want to live or die. Great last time. Sister Anko. Liamong pinched his waist and shouted, can you not get rid of the old bottom? Do you understand that I know how to live? If I'm not so diligent and thrifty, what do you eat? If I'm not so economical, you wear what? We have no food and clothing, so what are we going to do? So, money is a penny less if you can spend a penny. Things that can be solved with 50 cents should never be spent on $1. Things that can be solved with $1, never spend $2. $2. Hurry up and stop. Anko raised his hand and paused. Don't spend $1 or $2. If you don't leave, you'll be wasting time. Obediently, I sat on the cruise ship Silly Bamboo and headed to the little island of Turtle. Before leaving, the 4th generation Hokage slapped Killer Bee on the shoulder. Okay, big brother, I promise not to come back. Killer Bee agreed very happily, longing for freedom, unlimited freedom, no limit to my chicken feelings, oh yeah. Be serious, this time eldest brother is telling the truth. Stupid, fool, don't be so loud. Boom. Bye. 4th generation Hokage punched Killer Bee heavily. Don't play tricks with me, look me in the eyes, and promise me. Big brother. Killer Bee slowly climbed up from the ground and pinned his aching head to the side. Look at me. 4th Hokage raised his voice. Okay, I'm not coming back. Killer Bee snapped Yi's hand that was moving to the head. If you have nothing to do, I won't come back. You're not allowed to leave that place, whether or not I have something to do. Big brother. Killer Bee paused as he walked towards the cruise ship. Are we brothers? Of course we have always been brothers, from the day we met. Then you shouldn't say that. The steam-powered oil tanker rides the wind and waves to the deep sea. The observation room on the 2nd floor is surrounded by transparent glass windows. If you look around, you can see nothing but water. Liamong shivered with his legs, opened and closed his mouth, and held a piece of squid mouth in his hand. Are you sure this thing can be eaten raw? Of course. Kumogakure, who was blind in one right eye, nodded and stuffed the squid that was still squid into his mouth. Dip some mustard, it will have a very fresh taste when you swallow it, and it will move when you enter it. Don't talk about it. Liamong picked up the napkin and wiped his hands, his stomach filled with sour water frantically. Hinata, Tamari, and Anko sat next to each other, each with a bruised face. Don't you like it? This, you should eat it yourself. Liamong gently pushed the plate in front of him, and the squidgugo, who was still squirming, made his whole body feel numb. Blind Kumogakure shrugged. I won't enjoy it, you can't eat this outside. That, Yamato Tianzang, who was traveling with him, saw that Liamong didn't speak, and quickly took over the topic. When can we arrive? Don't worry, soon, Lord Killer Bee will ask friends for help. Ask a friend to help, what friend? Go to the cloud to update the new book, come back and update this book, there should be 2 chapters. Check out, The Rise of the Infinite Manga Fat Man. Text chapter 354_brother, can you tune in a sentence? This is the friend you were talking about. Liamong stood by the front cord window and looked at the big squid outside, feeling his head lacking oxygen for a while. Interesting academy. This is too big for him. Although there are many animals in the Hokage world, like some tailed beasts, toads, poisonous snakes, just come out, they are all like a mountain, but most of those things are on the road. Now this guy in the water is really turning the river into a sea. Yamato Tenzo looked at the squid, swallowed his saliva, turned his head and asked Kumogakure, are you sure this is a helper, not a sea monster attack? Don't worry. Kumogakure, who was blind in his right eye, smiled teasingly. Master Killer Bee is the king of this sea area, and any creature will obey him. Is there such an interest in that rambunctious fellow? Idiot, fool, head to Turtle Island for fish eggs. The good wind breaks the waves. I am watching from the boat, oh yeah. This guy. Liamong's face was twitching and his ears were shaking, and he shivered unbearably. It really corresponds to what Uncle Benchen said. Others sing for money, you sing to death. Can you sing a sentence on the tune? Go ahead, I'm Seaman. Depend on. Why don't you say you are Ultraman? With the help of the strange giant squid, the steamship simply turned off the propeller, and was completely resisted by free labor. You don't need to say, this big squid is not ordinary, that brain gate, that big eye blisters, that big claws, the thief is bright. It's the first time I've heard of anyone sailing in this way. Yamato Tianzang sighed and shook his head, and Aoba, the mountain city next to him, was speechless. Looking out at Yulun, who was resisted by the squid on his head, who would have thought that this time he would go out to sea in this way? The 8 claws swiped and pulled hard, and they rubbed out for hundreds of meters, and with another swipe, it was several kilometers, and the big squid shot into the ocean like a missile. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. Arrogant, domineering, and arrogant. It looked like a thief, but in fact it killed the entire ship. The big squid doesn't know what it means to move at a constant speed. The entire sailing process is variable speed. It will be fast and slow. When it is fast, its stomach can spit out, and when it is slow, its intestines have to be rolled. Even if the ninja in Kumogakure village was blind in his right eye, he lost his previous smile, and his face was bitter, like a bitter gourd. Brother, I feel uncomfortable. Hinata's pale face leaned against Liamong's arms, and Enko Tamari was not much better. I can't take it anymore. Yamato Tianzang hurried to the door with a wow, and vomited endlessly. The sour breath floated into the nostrils along the open hatch, and several people covered their mouths. We're in the sky, we can't stay in this damn place. Spirituality morning dew. Summoned beast west wind. The beautiful and holy swan girl, the king of beasts with golden hair and black stripes, left the boat and hugged Hinata, finally feeling a lot more comfortable. What he aimed at, he would never be a squid again in his life. This is really terrible. Shake it again, shake it 3 times, shake it 4 times. When the little island of the 8 turtles came into view, one of the ninjas on the cruise ship vomited. Bandit Aoba's little face is green, just like that green cabbage leaf, and Yamato Tianzang's face is white, just like bleaching G. The rest of the Kumogakure ninjas aren't much better either, with green yuhi, purple, white, and black, just like opening a grocery store. You deserve it, you deserve it. Lying on Zaifeng's head, he slapped 2 yellow hairs vigorously, causing the tiger to squeak twice, and Liamong turned his attention to the little island of the turtle. Said to be a small island, in fact, this island is not small at all. The island is covered with spikes that protrude outwards, like spears and swords pointing to the sky. Killer Bee jumped up excitedly when he saw it. Oh yeah. The uncle is back, he's back, he's back. 3 distant calls spread out, and I saw that on the small island, those with long arms, long hooves, long claws, hairy, shelled, and bladed, all ran away like death. No shadow. Killer Bee is back. Brothers, run. That mental illness is on the island again. Oh yeah. The uncle is still so popular. You can go home, squid, and you can save it from now on. Holding the gesture of drafting a mud horse high, Killer Bee turned somersaults and jumped to the island, and when he was about to fall, a few octopus-shaped claws became his leverage tool. This uncle goes first. Idiot, take your time, oh yeah. How do we get up? Shancheng Qingye glanced at the back of the brain-dead child leaving, turned and asked the captain. Before the Kumogakure ninja could answer, a deadly howl came from Kojima. My grandpa's concert is officially starting now, open your eyes and take a good look. Killer Bee Jinchuriki column force Killer Bee, S rap art. Oh yeah. Aiming for musicians, tiptoe. Ninja is a profession. Fate is tied all over the world, with 8 on its back, head to head. As soon as you go out, you will meet this uncle. Pop, dance, jump. Perseverance, benevolence and righteousness, this uncle will stand up. Uncle, I am a ninja genius from Kumogakure village. Lord, I'm crazy like a natural disaster. Potted plants learned from Mr. Asan. Although I tried it, it was still mediocre. Oh yeah. Farewell. Liamong covered his stomach with one eye and 2, I'm going to die anymore. 9 lines of lyrics, 18 lines are out of tune. What level is required to sing such a life-threatening song? It's too deadly, it's bloody. Lord Killer Bee seems to be very happy. Hello, I'm G. The figure who suddenly jumped out brushed the head of the Saiyan and waved hello. I will be in charge of this reception, and please follow me to the camp to rest. Have you finally arrived at the place? Yamato Tianzang staggered and straightened his waist, turning his head to look at his companion. How are you, Shancheng? Captain Yamato, I'm okay, how about you? I can do it too, that is, the legs and feet are not very good. They stumbled and supported each other and climbed to the island, and when they saw the people in the boat landed, Liamong also landed with his woman. As soon as the big guys got together, a black shadow appeared on the top of the head, with a pointed head, a wide forehead, a slate-like chest, and iron Jinchuriki column-like arms. When it fell, it was a big pit. Yamashiro Aoba looked at this thing with a green face, and pulled out the shuriken, but didn't dare to throw it out. Stinky boy, let's bake him. Hukun, Sister Enko's proposal is good. Can such a big orangutan eat it all? There is another chapter. The cloud gets up in the morning, and strives to be before 9 o'clock. It's too late. The more you code, the more chaotic your head will become. The state of staying up late is so bad, and Meow Meow is sleepy to death. Text chapter 355_people without goals. Listening to the words discussed by the 3 human girls of Enko Tamari Hanada, the gorilla who fell from the sky was angry, and 2 iron fists slammed into the chest. Baidu Interesting Academy. Roar. Lord Liamong, please don't be impulsive. Kumogakure, who called himself Ki, stepped in and stopped in the middle, waving to the gorilla and explaining, the animals on the island have been trained by the killer bee, and it's here to welcome you. Quote. Welcome. Roar. Are you really here to welcome? The gorilla held his fist in front of Liamong with a fierce look, and raised his middle finger abruptly. That middle finger is taller and bigger than Liamong's whole person. Brother, my brother is despised by gorillas. Hanada's face turned to Yuhi, her surprise turned upside down. Ha 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 stinky boy, you actually laughed at me to death. Enko squatted on the ground clutching his belly, tears streaming out of his eyes. Is it really that funny? Hukun seems to be very fond of animals. Tamari winked mischievously. Don't talk about the 3 of you, this is also called liking. The 3 girls looked even happier as they looked at the gorilla with grief and indignation. Its name is King Kong. Kumogakure glanced at the gorilla, waved for everyone to follow, and explained as he walked, Master Killer Bee has trained all the beasts on the island, and is the well-deserved king here. As long as he is around, it is absolutely safe. In addition, the Master Kumogakure has also set up a barrier around the island, and if there is a foreign invasion, you will know it immediately. Quote. Sounds good. Yamato Tianzangshan Castle Aoba looked at each other. We will use the contact frog to notify Naruto, and then call him over to stay with the killer bees, and the island's vigilance work will be left to you. Baidu Interesting Academy. Don't be so polite, this is what I should do. And, Kumogakure, whose head was combed into a Super Saiyan, paused for a while. It is a great honor and joy to be on duty for the superheroes in the village. Superhero? Liumin asked strangely. Yes, Lord Killer Bee is the superhero of Kumogakure village. Kumogakure Ninja said with admiration. Not only beasts, Lord Killer Bee can even control the 8 tails, it's a complete control. Just like Naruto. Yamato Tianzang frowned. Although he had already received the news, the Jinchuriki column power of the person who can completely control the tailed beast is still very surprising. They were astonished, as was Kumogakure, who called himself Ki. You guys from Konoha, Jinchuriki column force, can also completely control the tailed beast. It's hard to say what kind of state he is in. Yamato pondered for a moment, but couldn't find an exact adjective. Did Naruto control the tail beast, or did the tail beast control Naruto? In the eyes of outsiders, the Jinchuriki column force of the Kyuubi, Nine Tails people at this moment is very dangerous. Of fire, Konoha, Kaharu Udatane Homura Mitokado sat in the dark basement and looked at the 2 rows of ninjas stationed. They wore uniform hooded cloaks and various animal masks. We need a new leader, the 2 advisors, and please accept our allegiance. The number of people here doesn't match what you said earlier. Kaharu Udatane frowned as he sat on the stone chair. The ninja who spoke below looked up and said, because of the death of Lord Danzo, we are divided. A small number of people decided to go into seclusion, and some people took refuge in the daimyo. So, are the rest of us here? No, there are still some people who choose revenge. The basic words of his words have always been very calm, as if they will never have feelings. Kaharu Udatane Homura Mitokado met his eyes twice. Take off your mask, you will be Anbu directly under the elders. Yes, my lord. Pair after pair of Anbu masks were taken off, and the root ninja knelt down to express surrender. Into the sunlight, Homura Mitokado looked back at the basement and asked, is it really good to take them in? Will this make some people in the village uneasy? After all, they were once under Danzo's men, and Danzo was once a servant. These are just sad people. Kaharu Udatane interrupted his friend with a shake of his head. The ninja trained at the root is a tool with the ultimate goal of cutting off all emotional fetters. The ninja trained in this way can no longer be called ordinary people, but only know how to obey orders. It was no surprise that they would come back, because they had nowhere else to go. Without leaders, these machines can't even see the way forward. Menyon, they need us, we need them as well, and now Konoha must cherish every strength. You are not afraid. What are you afraid of? Kaharu Udatane suddenly increased his tone. When did you become timid too? It's not like you. I'm not afraid, but worried. The current village can no longer withstand any unrest. If something happens again, we are likely to become the sinners of the village. Aren't you afraid? Kaharu Udatane glanced at his friend with contempt. We are the village's advisors, we have given everything for the village. Even if they don't understand, our achievements cannot be denied. We are just some root ninjas. Well, forgive those guys who didn't dare to say anything. Besides, with these people, we can also take action against the Kyuubi, Nine Tails Jinchuriki column. What do you want to do? Homura Mitokado suddenly felt so friendly and strange in front of him. I'm taking it back, and Kyuubi, Nine Tails, can only, and must, be owned by Konoha. You're crazy. I'm not crazy, it's you who are crazy. You guys have released the most important fighting force of the village at such a time. That's because, Madara, Kaharu, other people don't know the interests of that man, don't you know? We are the ones who survived that era. Kaharu Udatane snorted coldly, because he knows how strong he is. He can't let Kyuubi, Nine Tails go. In front of that man, what role does the tailed beast have? He can only be a thug. Column force defecting regardless. This battle is nothing, but after this battle. Menyan, you and I have cooperated for so many years, can't you even understand this kind of thing? Quote. Kaharu. Whether this battle is won or lost, we at Konoha will be in danger. Kumogakure is ambitious, Iwagakure is not giving in vain, and Sunagakure has a precedent for betrayal. Once the war is over, it's time for everyone to share the fruits of victory, don't think about it. You know, we Konoha don't get much. So, you can guarantee they don't care. What do you want to do? Brothers and sisters are happy to watch, the cloud is full of code, and all the efforts are made. Text chapter 356 _ Tears in the Sun. What do I want to do? I want to. On the beach where the wind was howling, a few fiddler crabs waving iron tongs into the mud and sand, and Naruto Uzumaki sat on the top of the reef and launched a foolish act. Is this the country where my mother grew up? Really, what did the boss ask me to do in such a ghost place? It's been days and I haven't found the so-called answer. The dull sea breeze, the whirling eddies, the dilapidated houses, what a boring place. The answer, what is the answer? The answer is always in your heart. Who is speaking? Uzumaki Naruto stood up in astonishment, and he didn't find a figure even after turning around twice. Front, behind, left, right, overhead, underfoot. Giggle giggle, it's so cute. Who are you? Where are you? Uzumaki Naruto shook his head back and forth, and fine beads of sweat gradually appeared on his forehead. The female voice who spoke laughed even more happily. Didn't you say it just now, little idiot? Just now. Suddenly awakened and immersed in the sea of consciousness, Naruto opened his eyes and suddenly found that he did not reach the place where Kyuubi, Nine Tails, was sealed, but came to a place full of sunlight. Naruto. What's going on? How could someone exist in a place like this and know my name? Uzumaki Naruto stared at the woman standing pretty in the sunlight, his eyes widened in shock. Yuhi's hair like a waterfall draped behind her. One look at it will last a lifetime. Guess who I am? There is a reward for guessing right. Naruto listened to the woman's words and blinked, and suddenly showed an expression of sudden realization. You are. Guess it. The pretty woman was very relieved, but this relief was immediately shattered. I said Kurama, when will you play this trick too? Even if you want to learn from me, please learn it a little bit. How can you wear clothes with embroidery? Bastard, what are you saying, you bastard? The pretty woman heard such hateful words and rushed over to hit Naruto's head with a fist. Naruto, who was beaten, was stunned for a moment, then got up and pointed at the woman and roared, Okay, Kurama, how dare you hit me? Do you think I won't recognize you if you change into a vest? Bastard, I'm not that stinky fox. Boom. Aren't you Kyuubi, Nine Tails? Naruto, who was punched again, touched the bag's forehead strangely. You said you weren't Kyuubi, Nine Tails, so who are you, savage woman? Savage, am I savage? The pretty woman touched her hair awkwardly. The speechless Naruto pointed to the two big bags on top of his head, and the woman was even more embarrassed. I'm so sorry, I've been like this since I was a child, and I haven't changed much after getting married. But you look fine, more like your father, and as handsome as him. Married, father. The two words struck each other like thunder, and Naruto's astonished eyes gradually stained with ripples, and Yuhi's hair, looking at the woman, shed a scorching stream of joy or bitterness. Looks like you guessed it. You are your mother, you are my mother. Mother. Crystal tears splashed and wet the front of her clothes, and Kushina hugged Naruto, who threw herself into her arms, overflowing with a happy smile. Only a mother is good in the world. A child with a mother is like a treasure. When thrown into the arms of the mother, happiness cannot be enjoyed. Only a mother is good in the world. A child without a mother is like a grass. If you leave the arms of your mother, where can you find happiness? Naruto cried, whimpered, and trembled as he plunged into Kushina's arms with all his strength. The dark and distant place, Kyuubi, Nine Tails, fox flashed inexplicably in the eyes. Is this the greatest maternal love of mankind? Che, this old man has no mother. But the old man should be. Otsutsuki Hagoromo, in a blink of an eye, it's been so many years, how are you? What is the other world like? Mom, I've always wanted to see your mother. Don't leave me, okay? Don't leave me. What a silly boy. Kushina lightly patted Naruto's back twice. How could Mom leave you? Mom is always in your heart. As long as you remember Mom, Mom will never leave. I don't want you to go. Stay, okay. Naruto wiped his tears excitedly. I know you will disappear. Tell me how. I don't want you to go. Have you met your father? Naruto cried and nodded, but he refused to let go of his grasping hand. for fear that once he let go, he would never be able to find it again. What a silly child, my mother won't leave, at least not now. Kushina gently wiped Naruto's tears. This chakra was originally intended to help you control Kyuubi, Nine Tails, but now it is not needed. Quote. Snort. From a distant and unknown place breaks the warm picture, and the Kyuubi, Nine Tails, fox declares its existence with its dissatisfaction. Naruto wasn't happy anymore. Kurama, what are you doing here? As a friend, you should disappear automatically, okay? Don't be too arrogant. The old man just promised to make peace with you. When will I promise to be your friend? Little idiot, it seems that you have a good relationship. Kushina clucked her lips while listening to the quarrel between Kyuubi, Nine Tails, and Naruto. Kyuubi, Nine Tails, the fox turned black. Uzumaki Kushina, your good son. The words of anger or admiration gradually dissipated, and the mother and son under the sun burst into laughter in unison. I didn't expect you to use this method to get the approval of the stinky fox. Speaking of which, you are better than your mother. Of course, am I your son? Naruto patted his head proudly, but immediately showed a disappointed expression. Don't do this. Kushina rubbed Naruto's head comfortingly. As long as mom's leftover chakra is not consumed, it can still exist for a long time. Really? Of course, I don't want to leave you so soon. Kushina pinched her waist in a funny way, and she didn't look like a mother at all. Uzumaki Naruto was excited for a long time, then suddenly he rubbed his hands in front of him. Mom is such a beautiful woman. Ha, thanks for complimenting the little idiot. But don't make that funny face, it's ugly. What's so funny? It's curiosity, is it okay? Besides, I'm very handsome. Handsome. Ha 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 ha. Little idiot, your hair looks like your father, but your face looks like your mother, aren't you very disappointed? Your father is a handsome guy. No, I feel like I'm very handsome now. Uzumaki raised his chin stoutly. If I can have my mother's dazzling Yuhi-colored straight hair again, I'll definitely be able to kill that idiot Ursukuko in seconds. Little idiot, don't talk about Sasuke like that. Kushina raised his hand and tapped Naruto's head again, but I am very happy to be a mother when I hear your son's praise. You are the second to praise your mother for her beautiful hair. The second. I'm the second, the first. You are so stupid, little idiot. Of course, the first one is your father. Otherwise, my mother would not have married him. Aha, is that so? I remembered it. Naruto slammed his palm hard. Kushina blinked strangely, remembered. Yeah, Naruto nodded vigorously. I remembered a question that I had to ask no matter what when I saw my mother. That mother, how did you get on with your father? The cloud continued to work hard, and the brothers and sisters were happy to watch. Text chapter 357 _ find the answer of the mind. This is so embarrassing. Baidu Interesting Academy. Kushina lowered her head in embarrassment, her hair covering her pretty face. Tell me, Naruto urged curiously. Kushina gave the curious son a stern look, and then put on a happy smile. Mom moved to Konoha from another village. At that time, my mother was a genin and didn't know much about Konoha. When I met your father, everyone there still kids. Your dad, Minato, gave me the first impression of being a girl, not reliable at all, like a kid. Xiao, did dad really look like a girl when he was young? Naruto blinked in surprise, and the image of Namikaze Minato dressed in women's clothes appeared in his mind. It seems, does look like a woman. Kushina smiled and nodded. Your father looked very gentle and quiet back then, quieter than most girls. He was still very beautiful, and had a weak air, much worse than your mother. Then you. Just listen to me. Kushina glared angrily. The day I moved in, the teacher asked everyone to talk about their dreams. Mom didn't want to be underestimated by others, so I said it. What did you say? I said I was going to be the first female Hokage. Mom is going to be a female Hokage. Naruto hammered his thighs when he heard Kushina clenching his fists. As expected of my mother, she really looks like me. Little idiot, you got it the other way around. you should be like me. Kushina slapped Naruto with a hand. Then what? Then. A new girl who dared to claim to be a Hokage as soon as she entered the class is too arrogant. It's so arrogant. Since I started playing at the school, my mother was always bullied by the boys in the class, and she was given the title of Nishi Yuhi for this. Quote. Naruto looked at Kushina suspiciously. Nishi Yuhiki, why? With a big round face and hot Yuhi-colored hair, it looks like a Yuhi persimmon when tied with a headband. Kushina said very helplessly, actually, my mother wanted to accept her fate, and Yuhi persimmon was just a persimmon. Yuhi, but those guys don't give in. Naruto's eyes lit up. According to the plot in the novel, at this time, Dad will definitely come out as a hero to save the beauty, and then you guys. No, not at all. Kushina shook her head and raised her fist proudly. Your mother taught those male classmates who called me Nishi Yuhi persimmons, and beat them all into Nishi Yuhi persimmons. So she danced with Yuhi color. Embroidering hair, beating boys to half dead, your mother and me, have a new nickname, Blood Yuhi Pepper. Sounds great, doesn't it? Great. Is great. No wonder Shikamaru Inuzuka Kiba and the others said that their mothers are a kind of terrifying creature, and mothers are really terrifying. Hey, little idiot, what's your expression like? Isn't Mom's nickname funny? Pull the wind, pull the wind. Naruto shrank his neck and quickly changed the subject. Then what did Dad say? You mean Minato? Kushina smiled happily. He said he wanted to be a great Hokage recognized by the villagers. Are you recognized by the villagers? Uzumaki Naruto lowered his head lonely. Kushina shrugged off Cassie and said, Mom heard this and thought, how could someone as unreliable as your dad be a Hokage? Your dad is so stupid. What, isn't Dad very strong? Little idiot, your dad was still very young at that time, how could he be strong or not? Kushina mumbled angrily, suddenly showing a complicated and happy look. I looked down on him at that time. Until that happened. That matter. My mother used to hate her Yuhi hair very, very much because of her nickname. But after that incident, my mother changed. It was your father who made your mother like your hair color. What is it? Kushina's voice suddenly turned serious. Mom's chakra is very special, and the village of Kumogakure kidnapped me for coveting my mother's chakra. It's them again. Kushina sighed in a trance. On the way to being taken away, in order to leave a traceable signal, my mother tore off her hair when they were not paying attention. Although Konoha quickly organized a search team to find, but I couldn't find it. When I was about to reach the border, and my mother didn't have any hope of her own. Father is catching up, Naruto said with certainty. It must be so, right? Kushina graciously said, your father is the only one who came to save mother, and he was the only one who found Yuhi's hair left by mother. He told mother that mother's Yuhi hair is very beautiful, and you can see it at once. So romantic, Naruto shouted. Yes, at that moment, my mother felt that your father is really a great ninja. He will definitely realize his dream. The most important thing is that he also changed me. Kushina dragged her chin happily and said, it is because of your father that my mother fell in love with her Yuhi hair, which originally hated my mother, but brought the most important person in my mother's life to her side, and it became my mother's karmic line. Quote. That's how Mom fell in love with Dad. Ellipsis. Kushina nodded happily. Since this incident, my mother has fallen in love with her Yuhi hair, and she has fallen in love with your father. Listen, Naruto, I will only say my own to the man who praises my hair. From my heart. I love you. The gentle Yuhi lips kissed the cold forehead. Uzumaki Naruto breathed the sweetness that was close at hand, and suddenly felt warm in his heart. Konoha Yellow Flash and Yuhi-colored Pepper will give birth to the best son. Naruto, you have to believe in yourself. Mom and Dad are watching you. We will always be by your side. Don't be confused anymore. Mom. Naruto stared blankly at Kushina, who was encouraging him. It took him a long time to show a smile, but the smile was very reluctant. My father was recognized by the villagers as the fourth generation of Hokage. I never knew about this. I am proud of it when it happens, and I firmly want to be like him, to be the hope that Hokage will continue to guard. But this is not possible. Uzumaki Naruto sighed and lowered his head, burying his sunshine-like hair into the darkness between his legs. They don't agree with me at all. For me, they only fear, hate, complain, and they even want to kill me. How can I protect such people? Mom, can you tell me? Aim, continue, squinting and continue to code. In the future, I won't be able to stay up late at night, my state is not good, and there are still few yards. It's better to save enough energy and have a good time, aiming. Text chapter 358_See Your True Self. Master Liamong, this is the real waterfall where Master Killer be practiced. Heihei168.com. The rumbling water jumped down from the top of the rock dozens of meters high, and the splashing snow mist reflected the surrounding hazy, like the hair hanging down from the ancient goddess, and like the mirror lake embedded on the towering mountain wall. This is a very strange waterfall. If you don't look at the waves that are turning up at the bottom, and don't listen to the roar in your ears, it is like a transparent mirror. The branches on the edge of the rocks, the grass on the shore of the lake, and even the birds in the sky can all find their own images in it. The most amazing thing is that in the center of the lake there is a small circular island with a radius of 2 meters. Kumogakure ninja Kiji Kojima, who came along, said, "If you want to see your real self, just sit there and close your eyes. It's fun to listen to." July 20 inches. Anko blinked curiously, his expression moving. Kumogakure Ninjaji sternly reminded, although talking with the real self can help you understand yourself more clearly, sometimes it is not a good thing. Many ninjas will change their temperament after coming here, some become murderous, some it has become rare, and some have no fighting spirit at all. Therefore, a long time ago, this place became a forbidden place for Kumogakure. Only those with the strongest will and recognized by modern Reikage are qualified to set foot here. Is there anything else that needs attention? Liamong looked at the square inch in the middle of the lake and tilted his head, obviously making up his mind. He shook his head seriously and finally said, "Let me tell you the origin of this place. Before the Six Paths Sage invented ninjutsu and spread him, this is the secret place of Shangshilyu, which is the predecessor of our Kumogakure." Quote. Your predecessors were samurai. Liamong was surprised when he heard this, but it wasn't surprising when he thought about it. Yes, the predecessor of our Kumogakure was indeed a samurai, and it was still a very big school at the time. It was an interesting academy, so the swordsmanship of Kumogakure was the first of the 5 kingdoms, and it was generally more inclined to physique. What does this have to do with this place? Tamari picked up a stone and tossed it up and down bored. Because this is the place where the warriors of the Shengshui River were quiet and enlightened. Ji pointed to the waterfall proudly and said, as a famous school in the whole continent at that time, anyone who wants to join must understand themselves here. It is because of this where there is, can Shengshui Lu have that kind of strength? Quote. Then why don't you Kumogakure pass on this tradition? Ki's eyes flashed with complicated light, looked at the waterfall and said, ninjas and samurai are different after all. The era of samurai has passed, and there is no point in sticking to those things. Okay, let's discuss what those old antiques are doing. Who will try it first? Liamong said, looking at Yamato Tianzang and Shancheng Qingye, full of bad water and bewildered. You don't want to see the true knowledge. This is a very rare opportunity. Quote. I'll forget it. Yamato Tianzang turned his head to look at the waterfall, and shrank his neck in fear. Ninja from Anbu, it's best not to touch this kind of thing, and... Thinking about his origins and the secrets buried in his heart, Yamato felt that this waterfall was very dangerous. Yamashiro Aoba also declined the good intentions. Since it is a secret place spread in Kumogakure village, it's better for us Konoha not to contact, so as not to bring unnecessary trouble. Timid is timid, and what excuse is there? Although Ji, whose brain is combed into a Saiyan, is contemptuous in his heart, he does not show it on the surface. He turns his head and looks at Liamong, wanting to see how the VIP that Mr. Kumogakure has specially explained to him will choose. I'll try it. Brother. Don't be impulsive, brat. Anko grabbed the sleeve of his robe and shook his head. It's better not to touch this unknown thing. Who knows if anyone is making trouble inside. This lady must be on her guard. What I said was not a lie. Who knows? Tamari shot the stone in his hand at the waterfall and thumped through it. Kay was stunned, woke up and hurriedly defended. There is indeed a secret room behind the waterfall, but there is a major secret of our Kumogakure village. Please forgive me and can't explain it until I get the order of Lord Hokage. But about this waterfall, you can do it below. Guaranteed your life, absolutely did not deceive you. Quote. Okay, Anko's sister Tamari, you take care of Hinata, I know what's behind that. You know. Ji looked at Liamong in astonishment, not knowing whether this was true or not. I'm going to try, maybe this place is the only place that can solve my doubts. Are you really going? Liamong nodded seriously. Then I'll be with you. Anko stood beside him without questioning. And me. Tamari also stood up. I'm going too. Hinata gently pulled at the hem. He, Yamato, and Yamashiro, looking at the three girls, felt a flutter of gold stars in their heads. As expected of a well-known scourge in the ninja world, it can make women so determined. 3, that's 3, not 1, not 2, how on earth did he do it? Is this the reason why Hokage-sama is special? Hinata, Anko, Tamari. Don't say Fukun, we believe in you, and please believe in us. Okay, then let's go together. Stepping on the ripples, he walked towards the small island 2 meters in diameter in the middle of the lake, and Liuman slowly sat down. What is the real me? Silently recalling the bits and pieces that came to this world, a deep confusion filled my heart. Inadvertently, a greeting from Li Yangyang suddenly sounded in his ear. You're here. Who is talking? Little by little, the figure came out of the waterfall, wearing familiar and unfamiliar blue jeans, white basketball shoes covered with sand nets, small broken hair, flat mirrors, and yawning 2 steps. Look carefully, okay, how lazy is this person? The 2 shoelaces were tied 1.5, and the crotch of the open door bulged twice. This he is aiming at the real me, and the real me is this bird. The cloud continues, brothers and sisters are happy to watch, please feel free to speak if you have any opinions. In addition, I have the cheek to learn from everyone. Because I am a newcomer, I hope you can give your opinion on the new book. The Rise of the Infinite Manga Fat Man, please. Text chapter 359_forgive me mom. The rushing tide kept slapping the reef, and the splashing waves leapt into the air with joy. The fishy sea breeze of Baidu Yui Academy blew through, and the teenager sitting cross-legged seemed to have passed through eternal. Naruto, don't let the darkness in your heart affect your will. Mom understands your feelings very well. You understand, you don't understand anything. Uzumaki Naruto glanced up at Kushina a little, then lowered himself immediately. Father also said something similar to me, but he doesn't understand anything at all. Of course he is different from us after all. Naruto was taken aback by Kushina's words. How can you understand the pain of human Jinchuriki, column power without becoming a human Jinchuriki, column force, my silly boy? Mom is your previous Kyuubi, 9-tails person, Jinchuriki, column force. Kushina stroked Naruto's cheek pitifully. Uzumaki Naruto was shocked. Mom, is it the former Kyuubi, 9-tails, man Jinchuriki, column force? Kushina said helplessly or painfully, it's really complicated to say. My mother was chosen to be the Nikyubi, 9-tails person Jinchuriki, column lean. More precisely, my mother is precisely because she wants to become Kyuubi. 9-tails Jinchuriki, column force, was brought from the country of vortex to the country of fire. Quote. Why is this happening? Uzumaki Naruto looked at Kushina with extreme excitement, and he felt how hard it was to become a Jinchuriki column. Why does a mother from another country have to become a Kyuubi, 9-tails Jinchuriki, column force? Shouldn't this kind of thing be found in this village? Who can't choose? Why choose mother, they and them? Silly boy. Kushina took Naruto into his arms with relief and remorse. this is also impossible, although it is a different country and a different village. But the country of fire and the country of vortex, Konoha, but they have a very deep relationship with Uzushiogakure village. Heihei168.com Konoha, Senju clan and Uzushiogakure village's Uzumaki clan are blood relatives from afar and have always been inseparable. Quote. Kushina sighed while patting Naruto's back, because the lives of the clansmen are very long. My mother's village is also known as the longevity village. We, who are good at sealing, live in it, although everyone's temper is violent. The seal of the 4 elephants on your stomach is the art of our village, and Minato, your father's seal art was also taught by your mother. And the sign behind you is actually the family emblem of the village of Uzushiogakure. As a friendly witness, Konoha, it is still in use to this day. Quote. Is that right? Naruto's head was low, and Kushina didn't notice his abnormality. Now my mother's country no longer exists. In that era of war, the seal technique was regarded as a threat, and my mother's village was attacked and eventually disappeared. Even those who survived were incognito, scattered all over the world. Quote. If that's the case, why is mom doing this? Naruto asked in a low voice, his voice cold. Kushina's expression also looked a little lonely. It's because of fate. In Uzushiogakure village, my mother seems to be born with a powerful chakra that can control Kyuubi, 9 tails. And my predecessor, Jinchuriki Column Force, is also a female ninja from the village of Uzushiogakure, which seems to have become the norm. Quote. Who is she? Her name is Uzumaki Mito, the wife of the first Hokage. And my mother, the wife of the 4th Hokage. Isn't it amazing? Naruto raised his head blankly, his eyes were complicated like a hemp. You know the battle between the original Hokage Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara. In that battle, in order to help Senju Hashirama defeat Madara with the Kyuubi, 9 tails, psychic beast, Uzumaki Mito sealed Kyuubi, 9 tails, into his body and became a human Jinchuriki Column Force. After that, Konoha having Kyuubi, 9 tails, forever. When Mrs. Mito was dying, Mom was brought to Konoha as a container for Kyuubi, 9 tails. Quote. How can they do this? Naruto stood up abruptly after listening to Kushina's words. Silly boy, it's all over. Mom didn't know it when she was brought to Konoha, and she was really shocked when she found out. They didn't tell you. This matter is classified. Except for the 3rd generation and several high-level executives, even Sanin does not know. Old man. Master Jiraiya. Kushina sighed faintly. The pressure and loneliness of becoming a human Jinchuriki Column Force made my mother suffer a lot, but Mrs. Mito told my mother that we were brought here as containers, but before that we fill it with love. That way, even if you want to live as a Kyuubi, 9 tails Jinchuriki Column Force, you will be happy. Quote. Naruto stared blankly at Kushina. Is my mother happy even if she becomes a Jinchuriki Column Force? Kushina nodded vigorously, and Uzumaki Naruto was speechless. The sun-filled space suddenly split into 2, and an invisible line divided the mother and son into 2 worlds. Kushina stood up in horror, not understanding what was going on. Naruto Uzumaki looked at his mother in the sun, wiped his tears, pulled off his shirt, touched the seal on his belly and choked. Is this seal technique from my mother's clan, so what the boss said is true. Now. Silly boy, what are you talking about? Mom turns out to be a fool too, just like my father. Naruto, you. Kushina looked at her child in astonishment, not understanding what Naruto said, and changed. The darkness, the Kyuubi, 9 tails, fox stepped through the void. Stinky fox, are you the one who influenced my child? Don't push the old man when something happens. Little girl, what you are doing now is no different from those idiots in Konoha. The only difference is that you are wronging the old man, and those guys are wronging your children. Singer. Mom, Kurama, it's true. Years, I've grown up and I'm not a kid who doesn't know anything. And, I know a lot more than you guys. The right hand that emerged from the key pressed against the seal and turned, the metal swiping sound of clack-clatter. Kyuubi, 9 tails, real body appeared behind. This way it saves a lot of effort. Little girl, you not as good as your son. What the hell are you talking about? Don't come here. Naruto stretched out his hand to stop Kushina in the sun. I don't want my mother to be stained with sadness and hatred, and my mother will live in the light forever. My son will come to see you when he has time. Can see mom's happy smile, really happy, so happy. Naruto. Kurama, let's go. No, Kushina cried out sadly, looking at her son who disappeared with Kyuubi, Nine Tails into the darkness, a sigh that shattered her heart. Forgive me, mother. Brothers and sisters are happy to see, and Union continues to work hard and take aim. Text chapter 360_ as a father. Damn boy, do you really give up that little girl? Kyuubi, Ninetails, Fox flung his tail and glanced at Naruto who was sitting down. Although I don't understand your human feelings, I can see that the girl cares about you very much. Interesting academy. I know. Naruto didn't raise his head, but he still didn't have an answer in his heart. Kushina's cry is always in my ears, but I don't know how to face it. Father, mother, master. Taking off the forehead guard above his head and holding it in his hand, Naruto trembled and took out the kunai. To draw, or not to draw? The fishy sea breeze and the rushing waves splashed on his body. He was cold in his heart. Uzumaki Naruto became more and more confused, and he was stunned with one hand protecting his forehead and the other with kunai. When a person dies alone, everything disappears. His past, present, and future will all be reduced to nothingness. Many people will die in war or on duty, and very easily. Some of those who died also had dreams. Everyone has the things they cherish the most: parents, brothers, sisters, friends, lovers, mates in the village, and others who are very important to them. Living with people who trust and help each other, and who have always felt important from the moment they were born, will form a bond, and this bond will become stronger and stronger as time goes on. This is not a big reason, but people who have this kind of tie will do so because they feel cherished. Mr. Uruka. I cherish you very, very much, but have you ever cherished me? The short-lived memory crossed the apex of his heart, and Naruto closed his eyes tightly, trying to stop the tears from flowing out of his eyes, but big drops of tears still overflowed from the corners of his eyes and splashed on the forehead guard. On the sign that symbolizes the hidden village of Konoha, a song called Bitterness is sung. Mom, what should I do? Uzumaki Naruto raised his head blankly, looking up at the quietly rising moonlight biting the corner of his lips. The anguish in his heart was comparable to the endless ocean. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. I have been working hard, persevering, and looking forward, hoping that they can look at me and open their hearts to accept me. However, I have tried so much, why is it still not accepted by them? Is this the fate of the human Jinchuiki column force? No, that's not the case with Mom. And neither is the original Kyuubi, Nine Tails Jinchuriki column force. Uzumaki Mito found Senju Hashirama who loved her, and her mother found her father who cherished her. But what about me? Who did I find? Who will take care of me again? Sakura, Sasuke, or the elusive boss? Familiar figures appeared one after another before breaking into pieces. And Naruto Uzumaki faced the starry sky and the night with a desolate howl that was comparable to the silent night sky. Is it hatred or loneliness? Naruto doesn't know. Naruto only knows that his heart is empty. The mother is calling again, but what will I do to face her? With this full of hatred. Mom is the light, but I can't see the light. Heavy steps towards the hazy ruins in the dark night. Uzumaki Naruto absent-mindedly stroked the traces left by Uzushiogakure village. He touched very carefully, from every sign, to every inch of doors and windows, to every stone Jinchuriki column. The sun rose and set, the moon came and went, and when the night fell, the child who was tortured by hunger and exhaustion finally fell. Before falling into a coma, a golden flash became the last picture. Little guy, didn't you say you didn't plan to see him? I changed my mind. Okay, uncle. Should you be called senior, or grandpa, uncle? Are you that old? It's just a title anyway, don't care so much. Little guy, you can't ignore it. It makes you older. How can I bully you in the future? That's what you're doing. Of course, what do you think? The crimson armor clattered out of the shadows, and the black-haired man came to the fire. Is he your son? Yeah. Looks good, considering my seniority, it should be my grandson's grandson. Haha, I can also be an ancestor, it feels so good. Brother, when can you be serious? Brother, why am I not serious? The man in crimson armor turned his head, and the man in watercolored armor in the shadow pouted. Would you like to be the ancestor and go to Xiaogang and let her have one? Wouldn't it be better? That's right. The man in the crimson armor nodded, but immediately lost his mind again. Is Xiaogang in his 50s this year? It's 54 years old. You're still her grandfather, and you can't even remember the age of her granddaughter. It's so big. The man in the crimson armor sighed in amazement, turning his head and grimacing again. Brother, can you still have a child at such a young age? It feels very unreliable. Besides, Xiaogang doesn't seem to have a boyfriend yet. When she gets married, she will not be 60. By then, it will be too late. You're an idiot, brother, I mean it. Brother, treat your family with respect. The man in crimson armor turned around, with a look of anger on his face. The younger brother in the blue armor simply ignored him. You are the head of the family, and I am also the head of the family. It's really interesting to talk about this status. I'm your brother. I don't have a big brother like you. Bastard, I think you need to clean up. 2. Can you both be quiet, Naruto? The noisy voice pierced into his mind like a scratched old gramophone disc, and the yellow-haired boy who faintly woke up was startled. You. Little devil, don't look at us with those strange eyes. Be careful, this old man beats you. Shodai, first, Sama. Little guy, you have fouled again. Don't mention these 2 words in front of me again. Yours, understand? I see. The boundless murderous intent just said that he would leave, and the man in the Yuhi helmet stepped into the shadows again. Let's go, brother, the father and son are reunited, we don't need to be a light cannon here anymore. Singer. I have something I want to ask you, do you regret it? Uzumaki Naruto barely propped himself up and looked weakly at the bonfire. The blurred man scratched his head awkwardly, not knowing how to answer for a moment. They killed you, killed your wife, and even took care of your children, you really have no regrets. Naruto suddenly raised the tone of the questioning. Tell me, as a father, tell me, do you, Namikaze Minato, have any regrets? Brothers and sisters are happy to watch, it's night. I updated the new book in the cloud, and I came back to update this one again. I found that my mental state was worse, and I don't know why. But since today is Sunday, I have to stick to it, and sleep well tomorrow to make up for it. Everyone pay attention to rest, don't study like the cloud, this is a bad habit, it's really not easy to take aim.